Dude, I'm fucking sick and tired of your bullshit. You wouldn't be fucking saying shit if you were over here. I guarantee you fucking that right now. You wouldn't say a fucking word. You'd be looking at the fucking ground hoping that you don't fucking offend me, you stupid fucking piece of shit. I'm just kidding. Figured I'd get my inner internet badass out of the way. No, it's just part of StreamYard's deal. You can use it without a green screen. It's less effective because you can. It kind of fucks up sometimes. It works a little better if you have like a spotlight and you have a dark background, like you have your lights off. I may eventually get a green screen though. I don't know anything about them, like whether they're expensive. If they're not extremely expensive, I'll probably pick one up. What is it with green? Like, hello, Odd.
Hey, sir, how you going?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Just on another stream waiting for you to do yours, and then I heard yelling and screaming, so I had to. So, yeah, who you yelling at?
I was trolling. I was pretending to be an internet badass.
Oh, awesome. Sucked me in. I wanted to get over here right away.
It takes a little more than a little shit talk to get me going. But most of the time when I get angry, it's over ideas, not people talking shit. Like, of course I do care about things, but I don't like someone calls me gay or something and then like, like it just don't work like that.
Fair enough. Ooh, hold on.
Queen once wore a green dress and they put all kinds of things on her. Yeah, what is it about green screens? Does green somehow filter out like ambient light or something? Like, why does it work that way?
No idea, man. That's my green screen. My green screen is a freaking shelf and fucking all this kind of shit. I don't get it. Green screen technology seems to work with anything in my background.
Well, that is not technically green screen. Green screen is like a physical. I don't understand the science behind it, but somehow it like, I don't know. I don't know much about it, but what we're using now is just like a virtual background.
Yeah. I think you get a crisper edit of the thing that you're layering over the top type thing.
Right.
That reminds me, though, I got a quick question. What do you do to get your chat on the screen?
So in StreamYard, it's specifically a StreamYard's feature. If you go to the top right, it'll have a little thing saying show comments on stage. It's a beta feature. And you just literally just toggle it on. It's that simple.
Okay, because I'm a guest, I don't have that shit up at the moment. I'll have to hook up later. But yeah, cool, man. I didn't know it was that easy. I need to look further in StreamYard, basically.
It's on the very, like, the main StreamYard page. Like on the main page right there, just above the chat is the show comments on stage feature.
Yeah, nice. I noticed you get all the blocked comments and shit on your thing, So the blocked people's comments.
Hey, Trobs, I don't know what the subject is of the stream. I just thought I'd pop in.
It's all good.
Nose picking.
One thing I noticed about that, Trobs, is you have to actually enable that every time you do the stream.
Yes, you do, and it's kind of annoying. I've gotten used to it, but yeah.
Yeah, it is annoying. They've just improved that. I saw an update. They did an update on it, and they've made it better and clearer to see, or something. I don't really see the difference, but
I
goes dark.
I don't notice anything personally, but yeah,
no.
there is no topic at the moment. It's early
Okay.
on. We haven't really gotten started, and this is unstructured. Usually, I include that.
Okay.
Maybe I haven't had a structured topic in a while. I might go to the Discord and put up a poll so that we can start maybe next week's with some sort of topic. But
yeah, that doesn't matter, you know.
I kind of like free flow most of the time, but there's a place for structured streams. I mean, they're valuable in their own way.
Yeah.
I ventured over to JT's stream to see if I could get a bit of repertoire happening, to see if he'd come back. But at the moment I mentioned going up on his panel, all his crew seemed to bag the shit out of me. So I thought, oh, fuck this stuff.
Yeah,
so I didn't bother.
He has, I mean, nothing against it, but just his audience is an entirely different beast. Like
tribalism.
It's not my
they
style.
They don't have conversation at all. They just sledge and banter.
Yeah, it's literally just like who's the best shit talker. Who can like post memes against other people like in the most like hardcore manner. Like that's pretty much what it is. Again, that's fine. A lot of people love that. It's just not what I do, and I'm have no interest in it.
Yeah.
That kind of fits in my theory where people really don't grow up nowadays, especially, and they're just mentally children.
I don't know. It's the whole distinction between adult and child. A lot of it is just very societal based and not actually like based on like, I don't know how to put it, nature. So it's hard
They're
to
over
separate.
nurtured.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Nowadays, like where I grew up at, like people, like a lot of the Mennonites and stuff, they become adults at 16. Like they're out full time working. Like I quit school at 16. I went full time working. I think it's more the adversity you go through. So people who struggled more younger grow up quicker versus people who are nurtured and taken easy on their whole life.
I completely agree with that, especially in specific talking about like lack of how do you put it? Lack of like any sort of difficulty in their life and how it like affects them. But it kind of goes into what I was talking about in that the whole work, like that is more of a societal thing. That's not like natural. In fact, we can disagree. That's fine. But I personally think that we put way too much emphasis on work, and it's part of the reason why we have the problems we do, because you've got poor Republicans, for example, that are all about work, and they'll like bust their ass and have absolutely nothing to show for it. And what happens is the corporations, the owners and shit, they make out like fucking bandits, and you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to pay people. Like it's free.
That's only been the case for about 30 years now, since Reagan economics and shit. Well, about 40 years, where it's been all about work. Like peasants work less than we do nowadays.
Yeah, that is true. But I don't like, I guess where I'm going with this is, and I'm not saying this is you, some people think that work in of itself is honorable, good. I disagree. It can be, but it's not automatically so. What matters is what you get for what you give, and does it like contribute to society, etc. All those things matter. Whoa, what do we got up here, Odd?
Just a real quick thing. At the end of last stream, Gucci jumped up. It was under a different name. I forgot what name he was using, and we had a quick argument about the virgin birth, and he was arguing the Christian side. And he was arguing from the King James Version of the Bible, which is an English translation of the English Bible, which is got its flaws. So I'm going to show you the verse in the NRSV updated edition, which is...
Well, you need to go back to
one of the more accurate...
too.
Well, this is just a bit about Jesus being born, which is, they call him Emmanuel, and I don't actually really know the proper reasoning behind that. But here, where it says, Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child. It's not from a virgin birth. Emmanuel was already conceived. And
But
shall bear a son and shall name him Emmanuel.
wait, if you just go
It's
to
not a virgin birth.
the Greek text, it just says a young woman. It doesn't say virgin. If you look at
Exactly,
the
mate.
Greek
It
Oh,
says
no.
young woman. It says young woman. Yeah.
I absolutely understand that us atheists know this, but I just wanted to. This is here just for when Gucci comes back and browses, or if he's lurking, because he will be.
Right.
This is actual proof from this is considered the best updated version of the Bible that you can get your access on.
I was actually going to ask
revised something updated edition.
I was going to ask a question about that actually, because I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
What makes the new revised standard version updated edition better? Like
it's from Greek, Hebrew to Greek to English. Something like that, rather than the King James being
so what you're saying
English
is
to Latin to English, you know?
Okay, so to understand or trying to understand, so there's less translations involved. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a lot of
There's less flaws in the translations from the original Hebrew to what we have today.
Because Greek is closer to it?
Well, the
Hebrew
original texts
is the
are actually
original.
in Greek. They're not in Hebrew. So the only texts that they really have left are all in Greek, because Greek scribes, after Alexander conquered Asia Minor, as they called it.
I'm not 100% on that, but that doesn't matter which way, right?
Well,
it's still not from English. The King James version is basically English to English.
Yeah,
so there's
Greek,
more
Latin,
steps
then
to get
French,
to confusion.
Then Old English, and then Modern English. A lot of the original texts are in Greek and French. They're not in Hebrew.
I am more than willing to accept that. I get confused on that occasionally. I'm not intellectually up to date with that. But this is considered one of the better versions.
I was under the impression that the original was Hebrew, but I may be wrong.
I think maybe the Dead Sea Scrolls are, but what they actually they're modern. They just found the Dead Sea Scrolls modernly, so I mean they're not, the original text.
That's where the Bible comes from.
No,
I'm actually thinking the same as what Andy's thinking. So
there's old texts. They're just fragments. they're just fragments of pieces. Rash and I had a whole debate about this.
I loved it in the chat recently.
This is a sidetrack from what we were talking about, though, right?
Well, we're gonna do that naturally. We're gonna have like related things, and it it happens. But I want to include real quick, Mama Dingo. The word donkey wasn't used till the late 18th century, and the word belief is relatively new. That may be true, but the word itself. Now, I'm not gonna even claim to know anything about whether that's true or not. You're probably right, but
rode into a town on 2 donkeys. It's one of the only prophecies that he actually could have fulfilled.
He said he rode the town on an ass.
Good point. Yes, so you're right.
What I want to say about this, though, is even if the word donkey is relatively new and the word belief is relatively new, the concept behind the word is not. We've had words to describe the concept of a donkey and belief forever. Like those are not new. So whether we have the English word is kind of irrelevant in my opinion.
I mean, a lot of it you do need to know, like how words translate. Like "girl" used to mean young person. It didn't have a sex tied to it. Heaven means sky.
That is true. You're making a very valid point that like you do need to understand the approximate definition of how it originated because things change.
Exactly how it was originally used.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's important. Absolutely. I agree with that.
One of the interesting things I said to you recently, Oddie, we were on the chat, is how the atheists actually seem to know more about religion than the so-called religious people.
That's
it's funny that.
So hold on. So
isn't that true though?
I agree with you.
Christians don't read their book, and Christians always fucking lie.
That's the important thing to note. There seems to be overwhelmingly true about Christianity. in my experience, I'm of course biased by my experience, that is not exactly true of Islam. Muslim people tend to know quite a bit about their holy book, and in my opinion, that actually puts them above Christian, at least in that one regard.
When
But none of them will ever explain why they believe what they believe.
That's true. That's true of all religion. That's a different topic. I agree with you on that.
Rash avoids that like the plague, whereas a Christian will try to convince you that they believe what they believe for a reason.
Well,
until
usually
you tell them that their reason is invalid.
For all of them, it almost you can engage in a back and forth, and sooner or later you're going to get to the point of it's faith. And to me, that's not an acceptable answer. But
that's a cop out.
In my opinion, it is
thinking. They don't want to critically think about things, so therefore that God did it, God did this, God did that.
Yeah, it's the God of the gaps deal. It's like anytime we don't understand something, like currently black holes, what we're doing a lot, we're making leaps and bounds on it, but still, anytime in a given point of time that there's something we don't understand, that's God. And then once we do understand it, they go, they drop it, and then it's like the next thing we don't understand,
like weather.
Yeah, but well, I don't know. A lot of weather we do understand now.
What we do now, but in the past, like 100 years ago, they would still go to church to pray for rain because they would have droughts, and they thought God was punishing them. And like the Great Dust Bowl, like what was it? The early it was late 1800s, I think, was the Dust Bowl, mid 1800s.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another observation I've made as well regarding religion is that all the religious people seem to assume that atheists know nothing about religion. Like we've never read the Bible.
Honestly, I don't believe that. So this is getting into psychology. So I don't believe that they believe that. I think it's a defense mechanism. I think that they don't want to admit. I think they know that most atheists know more.
I go to church every Sunday.
Wow.
My grandmother wanted me to, and so I do it. And it's funny because Isaiah shows where we're at right now. I go to Bible school with her in the morning, and then we have regular church.
Isn't it shocking, though, that what you actually find is that the atheists know more about religion. They've studied it more intensely than the religious
I know
people.
more about all religions.
Most of the time,
I studied all of them. Like I was big into Greek mythology, Roman mythology. I mean, they're the same thing, just different.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You don't have to think something's true to learn about something. I've been into mythology forever. It's like, but again, that's kind of how I view Christianity. It is mythology to me. So, like, I generally don't get into scripture debate unless I'm making a specific point that someone's being contradictory, or like I'm trying to show like, hey, dude, like you are making all of these grandiose claims and yet you don't understand your own book. Like I'll do that. But when it comes to what is true, I usually don't jump into scripture because it's irrelevant in the concept of what is true, because even if the scripture is exactly what you claim, it's a book written by men, that's proven, and men can lie. You can't in any way link it to like divine revelation or anything. So even if like we can get in the weeds about scripture all day, it's still not going to show that there's any legitimacy to it.
Well, and just like the New Testament was a 200-year-old oral tradition, and the Old Testament was a 500-year-old oral tradition before they actually wrote it down into scriptures. Like it was just orally taught
that is the case with Islam as well. Although I'll concede I don't know nearly as much about Islam.
Islam is the Old Testament. So Jews,
right? Well,
Muslims, all now they add on the new. So like Islam, they believe in Jesus. They just don't believe he was the son of God. They think Muhammad was the son of God, and there's multiple Muhammads.
I would say that it is true that it is based on the same book, and they kind of they borrow elements and all that. They have certain differences, but I wouldn't say that it is the same. Like they add on.
Well, Muhammad comes from the line of Abraham.
True. Yeah.
So it's all falls from the whole Old Testament. It's just the New Testament. Just like the Jews think Jesus was an I can't think what the name, a heretic, basically.
Right.
Calling himself. So Jews hate Christians because to them that's blaspheming against their religion.
Yeah.
The Jews hate the fucking Christians because Jesus never fulfilled a single messianic prophecy.
It was all made up later. When so later, after
Well, therefore, Jesus is the wrong. He's a liar and a fraud, and he was executed correctly.
I know, but the Roman Empire
You know?
used it to control the stupid. So the
Of
Romans
course.
made Christianity the state religion, and then made everybody convert to that. Before that, the Romans left, like after they conquered a territory, they left them keep their gods or whatever, because it's easier to convert people and get them to paying taxes if you let them keep all their gods than try to force a bunch of shit, because then all they're going to do is rebel.
On the other
Yeah,
hand, if
cool.
we executed everybody who was a criminal and a fraud, then Trump wouldn't be in power. So,
So, what religion did Romans have initially? Do you have any idea?
I believe
Pagans.
it was pagan. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the Zeus, Hera, Hercules, all that.
Oh yeah,
Same as
cool,
the
cool.
Greeks.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just had different
that
names
makes
for
more
it. So
sense.
Ares is Mars, Zeus is Jupiter. I mean, Neptune is Poseidon. I mean, it's all the same. It's just the stars or the
And
planets.
multiple civilizations have done this exact same thing because it's easier when you like subjugate or even like brute force. Well, it's still subjugation. A civilization like Rome did with a lot of the world, it's easier to control them and to kind of expedite the process of like, what do you call it?
Conversion.
Conversion. Yeah.
Conversion.
Yeah. Cultural conversion. If you you keep certain elements of their existing beliefs. We did it with Christianity. Christianity is not new.
The
Absolutely.
Babylonians, I think it was Nebuchadnezzar. When he became king, he freed the Jews and all the other slaves, and then let them go back to their lands and worship whatever they want, because it was easier and he had less conflict doing so.
Right. Absolutely. It's like, but certain people will like have blinders on when it comes to like Christianity. It's the exact same thing, and we can prove it through like
Indoctrination is the key
I
part.
know.
I think if we ban children from going to church, all religions would die out, because if children can't be indoctrinated, then you ain't gonna have future religion.
They would, but I don't know. Like that one, like
That's why they won't.
That gets into some dangerous territory. I don't know if I would personally, just in my opinion, would call for that.
Well, as somebody who goes to church, when I look around, there's very few young people. Like the age gap goes from a couple children.
You're scared of having people have
just a
free
bunch of old
thought there, Trobes.
Well, yes, but so when it comes to children, I guess I would agree with you, because I do sort of consider like, especially parents pushing down views when children don't have the capacity to understand anything yet. It's indoctrination, and it's, in my view, child abuse. So
Yes.
I guess I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And 7% of all child molestations happen by priests, which is the largest group of child molesters in the world.
That's a terrible statistic, isn't it? It's awful.
It is, but it's important, regardless of how terrible, it's important to understand and acknowledge these facts, because like we can't get anywhere if we don't.
If you've ever played the game Chinese Whispers, then you can understand the problem with passing something like Christianity down through a population and generations of people by word of mouth. What could possibly go wrong? How do these people think that it has any bearing on the original?
They don't think of
the writing of his Sermon on the Hill was done 70 years later by a telephone game.
That's the problem itself, in my opinion, that you're assuming that they think. And I'm honestly not trying to be like I'm not trying to be an edgelord here. I'm being completely honest. They don't. Like, faith is literally the antithesis of critical thinking. It's literally turn your brain off in this one specific instance and don't challenge. And that, not only do they tell you to do that, but they say that you are better, you are good, you are holy because you do so.
Well, and if you do that,
it's sinning. So if you critically think about the things that are in the Bible, that is a sin in itself.
And Islam does the same thing. Again, I know a lot less about Islam than Christianity, obviously due to my region, but still, I do know that.
And if you do that,
there is a lot of similarities.
If you have any questions about it, just go and look it up in the Bible. I mean, that's probably the answer to it, is it?
That would be the logical thing.
Quran, but you can do a Quran verse Bible Google thing. But I don't have any more concise stuff for Islam either. There's better, like Rash wouldn't accept anything that I can throw up as evidence yet, because I haven't looked into his religion as much.
Right.
That's why I sort of pick on him more about, well, can you give me characteristics of Allah? And if you
Right.
look at all the characteristics, they're all things that don't have substance. Like characteristics of Allah is oneness.
But when you look
Warlord.
back at things
Goodwill
like that, like
and-
in Rush's religion, his parents, his grandparents, their parents, they've all been, you know,
I
Muslims.
absolutely understand indoctrination,
And
brother.
he would
Like,
basically be disowned probably if he wasn't a Muslim, wouldn't he?
I believe
Likely.
so, but I want to touch upon one specific thing here that I very vehemently disagree with. It's this concept that you need to be an expert in a particular area in order to have a position against that thing. And it's used with religion a lot. So it depends on your claim. If I'm making a claim that, like I have recently, that I know more than 90% of all Christians on the topic of Christianity, I need to back that claim, and I'm willing to. But if I'm simply, I can't think of a good example right now, but if I have like a claim that Jesus is a left-winger, for example, according to modern context, you could go into all sorts of details, but that claim alone right there, I do not need to be an expert on Christianity in order to make that claim. All I need to do is provide evidence for that claim. So in my opinion, a lot of times when people do this shit, we're like, you're not an expert on my belief system. That means you can't say whatever you just said. That is a way of evading any sort of responsibility, or like a way of pivoting away so that you don't have to defend your belief system. And I find that absolutely unacceptable.
Which none of them are scholars in the Bible. Like, so like a lot of them, like pastors, they go to colleges that actually learn the Bible and its context, its translations and shit like that.
Right.
Like most of these people don't. Most people just, I believe in God and that's it.
Yeah.
That's why I had a big argument with me the other day because I wouldn't argue other religions against people. I'd only do Christianity. And I said, well, I'll do a little bit of Muslim, but I stick to what I know. Oh, no, but you won't fucking do Buddha, or you won't do Hindu, or you won't. And he started giving me shitful fucking examples from these religions.
I will discuss any of them except it depends on the claim, like I said. So I will acknowledge
I can't argue a point if I have no knowledge, though.
True.
So I'm not going to do Buddha or Hinduism because all I know about them is from monkey magic and freaking white cows.
Right.
Hinduism is pretty wild. Like you can tell that they were doing a lot of psychotropics back then. So like a lot of most religions
makes sense.
Most religions came out of shamanism. Shamanism was taking hallucinogens and tripping out and seeing visions. That's what they called them. And that future like went into organized religion, where they still in the old days. It's called the acacia tree. It's all over the Middle East. You burn it, it puts off DMT. You trip your balls off when you burn it. So the burning bush, they'd have manna that would collect in the desert. It was mushrooms. Mushrooms would spring up every night. They'd pick them, and then at nighttime they'd eat them and trip balls.
You still having like the Christians having rituals and stuff, and that's just an extension of that kind of stuff. Anyway, in the Christian version, I can't remember or figure out the pagan side of Christianity.
The church later banned psychedelics because they wanted people coming to the hierarchy and not themselves for figuring things out.
The best hallucinations I've ever had was when the news show at the time, A Current Affair over here, said, oh, people are buying travel sickness pills and using them to get off. So me and my brother went to the chemist that night, got some travel sickness pills and took 6 of them. And I saw things form from the ashtray, like little figurines, but out of the ash, have a battle, like 2 nights, and then crumble again. It was vivid as fuck, and it was fucking awesome.
The Greeks had one of the best ways. It's natural. You don't even need anything. It's baptism. Baptism was originally where they would take people to the water and hold them under, because people didn't know how to swim back in the day. To them, they're all like, know how to swim. It's kind of weird.
So oxygen reduction for a high. Full on.
Well, they think they're drowning, and the body, when it thinks it's going to die, it triggers a DMT out of the pineal gland in the brain, and it floods the body with it. And you start tripping balls, And so if you're all hyped up with people like chanting around you, religion and all that
That's a
shit.
sick way to get a trip, man.
So after you'd be baptized, you'd be pulled up, you'd start tripping and hallucinating. And that was originally started by the Greeks, which then the Christians, well, the Jews and the Christians took.
On a
We used to
slightly
do hot knives and gravity bongs standing up. Sorry, Trobes, but we'd do
You're
them
good.
standing up just so that you sort of get to the point where you'd be fainting as you're holding it, because you hold them in gravity bongs
yeah.
or hot knives type shit. So you just take it and you hold it in. And so you get to that point just before you start to wobble and black out. And then you grip to the counter really quickly and half faint, but don't as you're getting stoned. And
Got it.
yeah.
God, I've had some really powerful head rushes doing hot knives.
Yeah,
point-
yeah, that kind of thing. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
What, do you ever
Yeah.
have somebody like they put their arm-
Oxygen depriving.
That's
Yeah.
one I did. A guy had me breathe out all my oxygen, and he picked me up and like squeezed my chest, and I like blacked out. I just fit like poof, and I can't. When I passed out, I swear it was like minutes to hours long, but it was only seconds.
Yeah, it's full on time dilation, hey.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's wild. Like you're seeing all kinds of shit going through shit, and then here it's only been seconds, milliseconds that you're out.
My honours
Yeah.
degree was biotechnology, which in translation is genetics and pharmaceuticals. So I had to study that kind of stuff, inverted commas.
A point that I wanted to make earlier, because it's only slightly related, but on the DMT deal with the near-death experience, that is why you can't trust any sort of observations made by people that claim they saw like lights at the end of the tunnel and all that, because they're literally in an altered state of consciousness. None of that is valid. It's not like considered evidence as a result.
Well, and most of them come out as liars. So there's a kid he made up all this shit. They wrote a book about it when he came out, but here to find out, his dad forced him to do it so he could profit off of it.
That's true as well, but I do believe some of them, like I don't know about the percentage, but some of them really do believe what they claim. I'm just, I without any sort of other evidence, like it's all just subjective personal interpretation. I already go on and on about how subjective anecdotal experience is like not really strong evidence at all. But even more so when you know that, like, just by understanding how like that whole process works, it's not reliable. Like
I always say tripping's like on Star Wars when Yoda has Luke go into the cave. It's whatever you take with you. So if you take religion with you into a trip, you're going to see God and all the angels and all this kind of shit. It's what's in your brain is what you're going to hallucinate.
yeah.
So if you're indoctrinated on religion, you're going to see religious iconography.
This is
Absolutely.
the AWARE study, which is about near-death experiences, which is the most recent one done that actually did a scientific approach to it. I don't know
the
if you
light's
can read
just
that
the
stuff
operating
properly.
table. It's the light above you at the operating table. So that's mostly what they see. They see the tunnel of light. It's literally the operator light.
And it depends on your culture. If you got a different belief system, you'll have a different end of world experience. But near-death experience, I had this argument with a guy called Elisar and Blade Runner. Near-death experience, to me, we're all automatically jumping to out-of-body experience and then jumping to the end of the world, going on to the next life, that kind of shit. Whereas I had this whole conversation
Buddhism.
doing that, and then at the end, this guy goes, no, well, near-death experience included all the people just having a heart attack and being resuscitated. I'll say the equivalent is, so a near-death experience is, a guy walking near the edge of a cliff and then taking a step back. Like, for fuck's sake, man, what a stupid thing to say in the end. But he's critically correct. But what a knobhead.
I believe a lot of times it's just straight up old fashioned confirmation bias. Like they're incapable of looking outside of what they wish were true. So they don't look at things true, but they don't look at things with a critical eye. Like,
which most of history, knowledge is kept secret by the church because they rounded up all the books they could. They rewrote them into broken Latin, which only they could read, as to hide the knowledge from the common folk. In the medieval period, a book cost as much as a house.
And what the fuck is Latin for? All this shit that I do, like listening about the Bible and stuff and religion and all that, I so rarely come across Latin or even mention of when it was used.
The church rewrote all the old, because books don't last long. So you got to think preservation of history, it's best on stone. So if you look at all the cultures that we still have stone tablets from and stuff, like they're preserved perfectly. Anything that was written on papyrus or other kinds of paper disintegrated with time. So all the old manuscripts, they literally turned to dust after so long. The church was in the process of rewriting them into a broken Latin, and then it got later translated into English.
Makes sense. I don't know much about all this.
The
Well,
church,
why does it make sense? Why
Catholic
didn't they go to Latin? They were in Greek or whatever, weren't they? So why didn't they just either keep them in Greek or go to English?
Catholicism
or
is
was
from the
English
Roman
not
Empire.
around yet?
Catholicism is from the Roman Empire. They're the ones that established it as the state religion, and then turned all the temples. All the pagan temples were turned into churches.
But I still don't get why the Latin.
Because that's what the church used to keep the secrets hidden. So most of all the old books are written.
So Latin's like a hidden sort of language to keep it from the masses.
Well, most of your people were not educated. Most people couldn't read. All they could maybe is read signs, go on places. They weren't. Most people couldn't read or write until the modern era.
I know exactly what you're saying, but it still doesn't explain the addition of Latin. They could have just jumped to any of the other languages, Hebrew, Greek, or English.
Well, it's possible, and this is just me throwing it out there. It's possible that it's not chosen for some special reason. That it was just they happened. They just like, hey, let's do Latin. Like it may not be significant.
But there was no reason to even invent Latin if you had two other languages that you could have jumped to.
Latin was a Roman language. It's what Romans spoke.
Oh, cool. No, I didn't know that. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know any of this.
No, I thought Romans were more like
Latin.
I didn't know that Latin was much.
Also, it was probably only scholars who knew the Latin language. The common people couldn't read it because they had no.
Oh, I get that. It's like fucking even in most educated Jewish time back then, it was like 7% of them knew.
The Romans are the ones who started academies. So the Romans would send the upper elites to academies, which they were taught how to read and write, and then many other things like military tactics, so on. So they become generals, and then they could, have messengers. But most of your people, they would have a scribe that followed them around. So Romans, they would actually use tablets of wax, and then they would write it into the wax tablets.
That's how the hierarchy developed, isn't it? Because you'd basically have to go to one of the elders or the scholars if you wanted to have something translated, because you weren't capable of reading it.
We're having history repeat itself, by the way, in the United States with all the stupid dumb fucks. Obviously, it's not claiming that it's like an apples to apples comparison. It's not that bad, but we're heading in that direction.
With AI, of course. AI is now doing all the
part of it. Yes, I don't think that's all of it. So some of it was happening before AI. Like we're just in an anti-intellectualism movement to where people just reject. True. I think it's more pronounced now.
Like the 80s was like, oh, pick on the nerd, get the nerd,
True, but I absolutely agree. But there's levels of that. So we're at a peak right now, in my opinion, and you can see it in like Trump says things, for example, that just are just not. He don't even try to hide their lies. Like he doesn't make an effort to hide them. It's just straight up bullshit, and people are like. Well, true, but that's what I mean. His audience is kind of what I'm trying to draw attention to, because it's a massive slice of people, and they're just immune to like logic. They don't care about truth at all, and it's becoming popular that like for part of it's skepticism. Like they have this sort of like science is out to get you. They're lying to you. That you can't trust like experts and stuff.
Well, that's kind of like the ruling elite. So the ruling elites are the ones that really have seeded that. So after the golden era of like all the robber barons and such, they wanted to keep the populations dumbed down. So the less they know, the easier it is to control them. The more they know, the more they understand how they're being fucked.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying about atheists, though, doesn't it? We're critical thinkers. We're atheists. We can think critically, but I don't think these other people can think critically at all.
So the hard part here is, can they? I lean toward
I've
they
come across
choose
some.
not to. I
Exactly.
lean toward they choose not to. I think that it's purposeful.
Also, I
I've
think
come
it's
across
genetic
some, but then
too,
they
so-
have. Oh, sorry, then they have cognitive dissonance of a different version.
True.
You know, like there's
True.
always a different escape
We-
route for them.
We all might be
But
on
a
the
critical
spectrum
thinking
of,
Christian is a good argument to have.
we might be on the
I
spectrum
love
of
it.
autism. So autistic people, so if you look back through all of history, like Einstein, Tesla, I mean, all the way back to like Archimedes and Socrates, they were more than likely autistic. And so
Mhm.
therefore autistic people think critically, more logically about everything, and don't just take things at word for what that people tell them.
I believe that is because this is pure speculation, but I believe that's because they have a clear separation of emotion and critical thinking.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's the key. That's just my opinion, but
And
I
it's a small
believe
number of people.
yes, true. But they, well, for one, they're like, again, with this anti-intellectualism thing, they will say things that are just factually true and logically demonstrable. And people just go, ha, you're crazy. And like
Evolution, like if you just look how the common folks, they still don't understand evolution. Like I remember my grandmother, she'd be like, yeah, the scientists tell you we come from monkeys. And it's like, what? So I was like, started thinking about that. And so then I did research. No scientist has ever said we come from monkeys. We
True.
don't even share DNA really with monkeys.
we
There's
share a common ancestor.
great apes. No,
Right.
with great apes.
True.
And it's,
true.
yeah, a common ancestor. That's it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But it's important to make that distinction because what they're doing, and in my opinion, most of the time, it's a defense mechanism because their religion is extremely important to their identity. So what they're doing is they're finding a way to straw man your position to make it easy to defeat in their
Guarding
eyes.
it. They
Exactly.
try to guard their beliefs as much as possible
Exactly.
by
We are cousins to the
And a lot of
great
times they don't
etc.
even do it consciously because research has shown anything that's extremely important to your identity, your mind automatically defends it. Truth does not matter anymore.
Mhm.
And that's why I
I don't get
believe
that.
that you should do everything you can not to assign
Confirmation
specific
bias.
ideology to your identity. Try to distance yourself from it.
I don't really seem to have a problem changing my view once I'm proven wrong.
Right.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
do require an evidence, and it can't really be hearsay.
Right. Of
Yep.
course.
Or if if there is only hearsay, it's got to be hearsay from a lot of people, etc. Like then you do the
I'm
ad
based off
populum
scientific
shit,
theory.
Exactly.
So
As much,
if it's scientific
fucking
theory,
oath.
that's 100% proof, basically, for me that this is what it
It's
is.
observable fact.
Yes. And
Or
science,
testable
science
fact these
and
days.
the beauty of it is science actually goes out of its way to try to disprove itself. Like there's
Exactly.
there's so many mechanisms in place to make sure that bias don't take hold, that like there's no prejudice. Well, that's a form of bias. And that
This is all under attack in your country.
I know. And that's what I mean
This
by
is fucked.
that's what I mean by anti-intellectualism. And it's huge. People don't
What-
realize how big of a deal this is.
It's
Oh, this
gonna
is
be in
massive.
the world right now. Like in China, I'm sure they have all kinds of censorship. If you go to the Middle East, censorship, Russia, North Korea, I mean, they all are heavily censored of what the people can know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why the world's dividing so much all of
The
sudden
ruling
in
elite,
this last decade or
again,
2 decades.
I think that I think the United States is a crux, and that's not me being arrogant. I honestly think the United States plays a massive role in world global affairs. And I think that they're seeing what's going on right now and they're using it as an opportunity because Trump is not doing what typical Americans have done. They like stand by the global rules and order, at least to some extent. Trump is going full on isolation mode, like World War
North
II
Korea.
era Japan, or North Korea is
I
an
don't know.
even better example. And when we do that, they see it. Oh fuck, we can do whatever the fuck we want, and they're just testing the waters, just like kind of
Trump
like. Go ahead.
is trying to get us into wars, so therefore he can use emergency power. So he's
Yes.
doing whatever he can to basically lock himself in as president for life.
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing.
Because we're now doing a buildup on Venezuela. I don't know if you've seen that one video I shared
Yep.
about he's building up all kinds of our naval fleets off of the coast of Venezuela. Russia, was it Russia and China are surrounding Japan. Russia's been sending drones into Poland. Lithuania just had, or not Lithuania, the one right above that, Estonia, had Russian fighter jets flying into it. Latvia, I mean, it's right there too with Lithuania. It's about to come undone, like the whole world order.
I've been watching the videos that you posted on that, but like I said, I've been so engrossed with like domestic shit that I've kind of like had blinders on involving like global shit. And it seems like there's a lot of crap going down right now.
It's a powder keg, because I think once it kicks off, China's going to invade Taiwan. Who knows what North Korea is going to do? I mean, they'll probably maybe try to attack on South Korea again, trying to take over that. Russia, we know what they want. They're just a dying empire, just like America is a dying empire. They want more power, but they need more money, and they're running out.
But Putin is especially dangerous because we know that we know what he's capable of doing anytime he feels threatened. And
well, he's threatened nukes like 14 or 15 times down the last like 5 years. And
true,
he sent one off. He did send a short range not an intercontinental, but a ballistic missile up, which shot down dummy warheads into Ukraine, showing that he could easily nuke them.
Yeah, he's doing the fucking like showing force, like I can fuck you up if I want to try to cause fear. But Putin, I believe you're right, and it's important to note that he's had this rhetoric for a long time. But I will say I do believe that if backed into a corner, he will use nukes. He does not care. But I also would say, what are you going to do? You can't just allow like early fucking Nazi Germany, where like the UK and France particularly were supposed to defend Poland, but then they're like, yeah, better not. And of course, Germany gets more and more powerful as a result. And we're looking at that now. What are you going to do? Just go like, okay, Putin has nukes, so we're just going to let him take over anything he wants. You can't. You have to draw a line.
Poland is ready. They bought tons of military equipment. They put like 50,000 troops on the border right now because of the war games. Which Belarus, the dictator of Belarus, stepped down.
Yeah, I saw that. He was called the last dictator, so I guess there's no more dictators.
Which now that country, that was one of Russia's closest allies, Belarus. It was basically a puppet arm.
That's what I was about to say. I don't know if I would call him an ally because it's really just a puppet state. But yeah, it is technically an ally, but like not a independent ally.
Yeah, they didn't have choice. And now the people are going to rise up, kind of like Nepal. I don't know if you saw how Nepal went down. That was Gen Z. They burnt Parliament down. They freaking ran everybody out of Parliament and then reelected a Bernie Sanders like character.
Really? I've never heard of any of that. But it's a good sign because there's a sort of global right-wing shift in pockets, and they're kind of like leaning on each other. Like Trump trying to back Bolsonaro, for example, even though he was arrested and imprisoned. And of course, Trump is trying to threaten over that. It's because Trump shares the same ideology and he wants the same thing. He wants to be a dictator.
Well, and he repeats whatever the last person told him. So he surrounded himself by a bunch of extremists who believe a bunch of stupid things, and he just repeats what they tell him.
Right. Well,
a lot of times, not Russia. Belarus not Russia?
No, it's technically not Russia, but it might as well be because it's a puppet state.
Yeah. Or the only place that ever stops me or gives me a warning for if I put on like real music on my videos, like I put Axel F on, like, but it could be any song. Fucking, it's always allowed anywhere and everywhere except for Belarus, Russia. Like, that's what YouTube calls it, you know. And it spins me out. It's like, oh well, fuck that. I don't really care. So I just go ahead and do it these days. But I'm not making money off nothing, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But, yeah.
Belarus is the country right between Lithuania. So you got Poland and Lithuania is right at the top of it, and Belarus is like this big country, right? Well, it's pretty big actually. Right between Russia.
Good, hey, there's no way to take it called Belarus, Russia to me. You're like fucking on like 10 different YouTube comments. That's all.
That's like weird. When he invaded Georgia, Chechnya, Crimea, like Belarusian troops helped and stuff like that with that. Like he's always had them as military aid, just like Putin's been using North Korean troops.
The dude before he stepped down is similar in position to what's that guy's name? The Chechnyan fucking warlord guy that's like really popular in his region. I can't think of his name. You know who I'm talking about?
I can't.
He's known for being like a fighter. He was like a general or some shit for Chechnya.
I don't know why, but I was thinking Erdogan, but that's not. That's
no.
That's another one. That's
it may sound similar or something. It's been a while. I can't remember, but
I'm not good with my Eastern Bloc.
Right. I'm not good with anything requiring memory, but
names, especially like names and stuff like that. It's hard to remember names I'm not familiar with.
I can probably find out just by trying to search it.
I think it's going to kick off though here between AI, robotics, and then somebody's going to make something that's one of these dumb leaders are going to see, which then it's going to be like, oh, they attacked us, and it's just an AI generated video, and then they're going to retaliate, and here it was not even true, and then it's going to kick off the whole. World War I was started off by a guy getting assassinated.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I used to know or remember all that kind of stuff a lot more.
That's the guy, Ramzan Kadyrov. He's very big, and he was a massive. They considered him like a resistance fighter for Chechnya, and then he kind of gave up on it, and to some, he's considered a traitor because he basically got like taken over by Putin and became Putin's puppet.
I hear the bubbler.
The bubbler.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's getting ugly. Like everything. I don't know why we had to go, because we were at the time when we could feed the most people. We had the most wealth ever in world history. Like people have the highest standards of living, best medical advancements, but yet all we're focused on is territorial gains for some reason.
Fucking greed.
No vaccine mandate. That's fucking full on.
Oh, I think the elites are just trying to kill off the stupid people. So by getting the stupid people to be like, oh, I don't want vaccines, but yet, like, so Tucker Carlson, when we had COVID, every person at Fox News was vaccinated, but yet they're pushing the anti-vax narrative. Everybody at Fox News is an Ivy League educated person. They went to all the best schools. They come from rich families. So this is the billionaires telling millionaires to tell the average Joe what to think.
That could be the case.
So you can still get the vaccines.
Well, hold on. So that's what I was going to say is sort of important. It's not just stupid people, because in certain areas, they're actually making it limited. So it's not like smart people can still get full access to any vaccine they used to be able to. They're starting to fuck around. And
sorry.
It's all good. So how far that goes is what matters. If they limit access to anyone that actually wants vaccines, then I really do care. Because then it's not just about like stupid people making their own choices, making their own bed and lying in it type deal, you know?
Yeah, but I do think the rich, because if they think they can replace most of the working class with robotics here soon, what they don't want to have as many out of work
we're loose ends to them, because it's going to require resources to keep them alive and shit, obviously. So all they care about is their own power and wealth. Of course, they have every reason to want as many people gone as possible.
Yep. That's like, I think during COVID, that was a good example of the elite showing that they're trying to kill off a large portion of the population. We had 1 million deaths here in America alone.
It wouldn't surprise me. I would like to have a little bit more evidence. I will say it wouldn't surprise me, but I wouldn't make a direct claim. Not saying you are. I'm just saying, like,
war's another one. So during war, the elites, they don't go into battlefields and fight. They sit in bunkers hidden away while they send all the poor people to go die.
Yep.
Prime example is Russia. 1 million people dead in like 4 years.
True. Well, Russia's going in the negative region though. Like they're losing so many people that like they're going to have massive economic issues for a long time. Well,
They already are.
unless
There's runs on
AI,
banks.
I don't think AI is moving quick enough for them to really pick up on it.
Well, it's robotics. So automation. So automation started with the tractor, basically the combine and stuff like that. And so we've been seeing automation progress ever for the last 120, 100 or so years of automating things away. So what used to take 10 people to harvest a field now is one guy and one machine. And then it just escalates up into every field. Exactly. Like, so if you go to automotive plants where like, so if you go back to Lamborghini and them, they used to make every part by hand and it took months to make a single car. Well, now we can pump out cars like hundreds a day.
And do you know what really gets me about that? So one, the Lamborghini example, they still cost roughly the same, which is fucking retarded. And then we've got the pay issue. Like people have become far more productive, and also technology plays a little role in that. Yet wages have been stagnant for fucking generations. And as a result, people are fucked. And like people don't realize, like, especially the older generation, like I have a family member that I constantly debate about this stuff, and she's like, yeah, but it was just as bad, if not worse, back in my day. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. You're focused on your personal experience, your anecdote shit. Like, we have the facts. We know the big picture. We have the numbers. It was way better back then. Way better.
Yep. If you look at the price of a house and then you added up what the average income was a month, like they could easily pay for their mortgage, all their bills and groceries, and still have enough to save up for a vacation home.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, you can't even get a house. Like,
yep. Just one tiny example to illustrate what you just said. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like a person going to college at the time could have a like part-time job just during the summer and have enough to pay off and have zero debt.
What and Reagan
you can't do that now.
What Reagan? So back before Reagan, whenever you went to college, you got a grant from the government, and you didn't have to pay that back. So college,
yeah, ours was free back then.
Grant. Exactly, and
mine wasn't.
Which also prices. So if you didn't get a grant and you just went, it was like $2,500 a semester. But when Reagan got into there, he turned it from a grant system to a debt system.
Yep.
And he made it so every time you get a student loan, you're in debt with a high interest rate.
You know what really irritates me? The specific thing that pisses me off about Reagan is it's like we could go on all day about all the evil shit he did and how it was such a turning point in like neoliberal politics in the United States. But what really gets me is the sheer number of people, mainly boomers, who currently go on and on about how fucking great Reagan was.
Well, did you see Outfox? Did you watch that documentary? Rupert Murdoch journalism?
No, I didn't get a chance to dig into that.
They start out in that about how Fox News went on, because it was during the Reagan administration. This was after Nixon was thrown out, and they decided that they can't have that kind of thing happen again. So Fox News based this whole thing about basically making a religion out of Reaganism. So every time it's his birthday, they have big celebrations, his death, like celebrating Reagan all the time. And Fox News is the one that pushed that Reagan bullshit on and on for like 30 years.
That it makes sense. And he was a good target for it. Not saying good as in it was good, but he was a fucking actor, and he's very charismatic. And so it didn't matter that he was spewing bullshit. He did it with a smile. He did it with fervor, and people got behind it. And they're like, this guy is the real deal.
Like it's just like if John Wayne would have became president, like he would have been easily the hoodwink all of them.
Yes. So this is different sides, but I'll say a similar thing. So Obama is on the left side, and he's similar in his oratory abilities, in my opinion. Not so. I believe Obama was far more intelligent than Reagan, but but they both had this charisma and ability to like be magnetic for people. And now he didn't do nearly as bad as like fucking Reagan, obviously, but I do believe that Obama used that as a smokescreen frequently to get away with shit and to do things that I personally disagree with.
Which another thing, like Reagan, like you have the right nowadays, they're all like, "Oh, it's mental health issue. It's mental health issue." Reagan's the one that shut down all of our mental health institutions,
Mhm.
so he
Well,
can get the Richard tax break.
That's what I'm talking about how much it drives me crazy that you could make an insane list of all of the just measurably evil shit that Reagan did, and people don't know any of it. None of it.
It's because they weren't told by Fox News. So if it's not said by them, they don't believe
That's
it.
true. That is true. But even left leaning news, like I feel like they don't go into it enough.
There is no left really in America. I mean,
That's
if you want
true.
left,
That's
you have
true.
to go to Europe. Europe's the left, which they're not as left
I agree. When it comes to
as they should
mainstream
be.
media, I agree. There are, at least for now, it looks like it's currently under threat, but there are independent journalists who are truly, in my opinion, on the left and are fighting. But for how long, I don't know.
How come when I'm up on your stream, I'm not allowed to stream it to my channel, but when I'm up on Andy's stream, it gives me a big box in the top corner saying, "Do you want to stream to your channel?"
I don't know if it's it might be a default setting. And if so, if you explain how to do it, I can fix that. But I don't know how to do it.
I don't know. I'll have to. I only just realised that it's not coming up here. I was only just on his stream prior. I don't know where he is. His mic's off at the moment, but we could ask him when he gets back.
Yeah.
But
Hold on. There's
yeah,
a checkbox under guests called guests can stream this to their own destinations. Is that maybe it?
maybe.
I'm going to check it.
I
Yep.
sent you
That did
Stream
it?
this to your audience.
Yeah, I think that is the one.
All right.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
I think I
it
had
should
that
be
on.
fixed
Yeah,
now.
I think
Oh,
I
you
had that
should
on.
check that in future. I'll probably,
That
get
one
your
stays
your
on. I think.
audience maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I sent you
that
a
one will
political
actually stay on.
compass diagram, which has all like a bunch of the presidents on.
Mhm.
There you can see Obama is actually a right wing.
Oh, that's the point that I always make is they like brainwash people by making them like here what's considered extreme left is like center right on the world stage.
Oh,
And
dude,
again,
she was
that's
actually
part
like
of
5 right.
exactly. That's like neoliberal bullshit infecting the mainstream and like fucking with people's heads to where they don't know what is legit anymore. And
6 right. Yeah. Okay. And authoritarian.
can't you present?
Oh, I don't know how.
Isn't there like an option? Like, I mean,
Yeah, there is.
Odd
I
can.
can. Yeah.
Can you explain it to him?
Yeah.
Well,
So
Yeah,
there we go.
screen.
in StreamYard, next to your name, you got the
Share
box under
screen.
your name. Then there's a
Yep.
present right next to it. Should be, and you can share screen from there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I honestly don't mind, but I only say that because like it just saves a step because then I have to go into Discord and I suck at doing two things at once.
okay.
Yeah,
So as
you
long
can
as
share
someone
it.
doesn't have a screen up already, which is not the case
Oops.
now, you can do it at any time.
Well, no, I can't. It's not showing the tab I want to show though.
Is it like a internet tab or is it like some
Yeah.
other program?
No, it's a tab.
There you go. I'm sharing his stream now. I know it's only the end of it, but
It's all
I've
good.
never
Well, we've
really
got about
done
an
it
hour
before.
left. It's kind of
Cool.
slow right now, but I've noticed that a lot of times people like to watch after the fact. Maybe my timing's not a very good time, but it's all I've got. But as long as, I mean, I don't really care if it's live at the moment or if they watch later or whatever. I mean, if people enjoy it, then that's good.
Let's see.
I've been thinking about how to I don't think I'm going to do an outro, but I'm thinking about how I'm going to go about advertisement in the future. Like outros seem weird to me, like a little too pushy. So maybe I'll just say something like just have like something that I say all the time, kind of like Kyle Kalinske does.
If you use Clipchamp, there is a section there with content, royalty free, and you could link together a few visuals and then just maybe put your own, like there's a few things that'd help you.
Right. I've got something that's actually really good called CapCut that has pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
Similar. Yeah.
But I feel like it's a little too pushy. I would much rather, like, again, I'm trying to ride the line between how I used to think and like this new perspective. I don't want to just go all out like, subscribe, bell, like all the fucking time. So I think just saying it would be better for what I'm looking for.
No, fair enough. I usually chuck a small one of them in the corner of my vids and shit like that, or at the end. Something which I can delete if I want to later on. Or I've got the original anyway, so fuck, it doesn't matter anyway.
This is an interesting little chart here. Fascism.
Obama came in a little right wing in 2008, but then he went far right through his presidency.
Yep. So look for like left, like either of the two left side columns. Look for presidents in the United States.
Why is Trump in the blue side?
Exactly.
Right.
Except for Bernie Sanders, but he wasn't actually a president because they fucking like did everything they could to fucking tarnish his reputation and shit.
Yeah, Fidel Castro, he's communist. Stalin, communist. Hitler, full fascist. Trump's up there with Hitler at the height of fascism. So you have your, you're like up and down, right and left. Gandhi, libertarian. Nelson Mandela, libertarian.
I like the libertarian left. That's my thing.
I'm 3 down, so I'm like where Gandhi's at on libertarian, and then I'm 7 left.
So hold on just a second. There is no right or left. It's who is more manipulated by their government, who is educated to understand that you are being controlled. So I'm going to disagree because there's more than one right and left. So there's perceived right and left based on issues that people like in a particular country, and like sometimes it's just kind of brainwashed into them. Absolutely. But there's also right and left ideology, which it is real. It's an actual thing. Like, it's hard to separate those for sure, but it's not like all left and right ideology are just all completely made up. Like there's absolutely no link to personality and shit. I don't believe that. I believe that there definitely is.
It's a lot to do with the brains too, the right and left brain. That's
my point, is that there's a definite personality correlation. In fact, you can almost with perfect precision give someone a Big 5 personality test and tell exactly what they believe politically. What that shows, it's not brainwashed into them. Well, it can be, but that's not it. A lot of it is literally just how they're wired.
Didn't they debunk the right-left brain thing?
I don't know.
No, UK did.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know how. Hang on.
You had people that had brain issues that separated their brain or whatever, or I can't remember.
I would like to
objects.
I would like to see
severing the two brain parts, but they still sort of settled back to a normality.
I would like to see that. I would like to understand exactly what that's going on.
Yeah, but they're insane and stupid. Yeah, but
it depends. So politics is extremely complicated. So, well, it can be, I guess I can say. So if you just take the basic foundations, like for instance, authoritarianism versus libertarianism, just to use two little examples here, those are real things. People do actually lean toward one or the other or fall in the middle. That's what I mean when I say it's not just fake. Like there is some natural basis for it, like a genetic or like, so I think that what you're saying is partially true and is true in many instances, but it's not true that just all like right left sort of like political affiliations is all just bullshit, people trying to control. I don't believe that one bit. But that's my view. We can disagree with it, disagree on it.
Yeah, sorry, I had to duck away. Yeah, no, I understand that they're not related. The left-right sides of the brain thing are not related to left and right political shit. I wasn't inferring a similarity. I was just
right. Well, I was mainly
a side thing.
Me personally, I was mainly referring to what Stupid Human said, unless that is you.
No. That's a friend that I know from my channel,
okay.
though.
Okay.
Yeah. He's he doesn't like Trump like us. No, I like him. He's a good kind of fella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a March 2024 study by City University of London found a divide in how political different individuals view history and future across multiple countries, including the UK. They have a whole study here about, it comes down to like all kinds of different things, like right wingers tend to be more traditional, left wingers tend to be more optimistic, things like that. So, I mean, it comes down to your brain chemistry of how you're going to look at the world.
Exactly. And that's what I'm pointing to, that there are characteristics that people have that cause them to lean in one direction or another. It's not all just brainwashing. That's not true. It's not all just nurture.
Yep. It's pretty much if you're a critical thinker or not. If you're just a plain Jane, mundane person who's not going to really think and question everything you're being told, you're going to follow the narrative most likely, like Fox News.
True. And I will agree with you on the whole with what you're saying, but I will say there are people that using the exact criteria you're describing that are on the left as well. They're more rare, but they exist.
Now they're more likely psychopaths, sociopaths, and are doing it for monetary gain or some kind of other gain that only benefits them. So therefore they're they're scam people for their own gain.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. For sure.
Suffering or not suffering. It's quite simple.
What is this thing up here? Oh, that's your channel. So there used to just be like the little emblem for my YouTube channel, and now there's another one that shows a little link. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. It kind of distracted me. Sorry. I interrupted because that made no sense to me. So I kind of wanted to go back into the very end point. I never got a chance. I forgot about it to go back. But like, Odd, you made a point. I'm not going to get it correct, but you can correct me. Something involving that we wouldn't have evidence for being in a simulation if we were. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I just can't fully remember what we were discussing about at the end. I remember us.
Well, it doesn't have to be exactly. It doesn't have to be exactly what it was. I just want kind of your view on if we're in.
They say for us to have a simulation as good as our simulation, that it would require at least as many atoms as there are in the universe to be calculating it, which is 10 to the power of 80 atoms.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a hell of a lot of computer potential. But that's got to be a load of shit, because if we're in a simulation, you could just simulate where the circle of perception of each observable citizen. or citizen within the simulation.
How do you know that?
Citizen being a
I don't think you'd have to calculate all the atoms. You just have to calculate all the atoms within the simulation, which it's the scale of the Earth.
exactly, Gadwin. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to do what has been suggested. It's not as complicated as that. But the whole point is, it's a simulation where the only freaking flaw that I can even concoct that we could perceive is deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think
given
too.
to us from Matrix, mate. We didn't fucking come up with that. That's someone else's.
Well, the Matrix was written by
there's
man
probably
too.
more methods. Exactly. This
But
is
for me, deja vu. Like I've had many of those times. Like I've been here before. I've done this before. I've said this before. I've seen this before. And it's like I'm on a repeat at times. Like I've all done this before.
You specifically asked about this solipsism conversations. I'm willing to do it, but in the end, you get to a point where you cannot go any further.
That's true.
Because there is no proof.
That's
so
true.
It ends up becoming a repetitive circular, well, not circular in the common way, but boring over and over.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you, but I will say early on, just discussing the topic from like a philosophical point of view has utility. And I think that it is useful. I'll agree that there comes a point, and I'll concede that, but I don't think we've come anywhere even close to that point.
There is a theory that
I'm more than welcome to do it. Like it's awesome. It's fine.
If humans create super intelligence, and it's going to basically be the end of humans, like AI will be the next evolution of humans, and basically it's going to replace us, that we would make some kind of ancestry simulation, and all you needed was a big data center where you'd upload the consciousness of all beings on Earth. That super intelligence will figure out a way to upload consciousness, and it's all this is the consciousness of our bodies, of the people that were here at the height of super intelligence, and just basically downloaded all of our minds into a computer.
Did we bother to upload or spread the consciousness of the previous states of our existence before we got to the human level? No, we're not going to bother to do that. We're just going to fucking go on. And we're going to evolve, and we're going to move on as a version of a life. And it will most likely, it seems, become mechanical, artificial intelligence orientated. What would have been better would have been a more gaseous, fucking 50-kilometer wide version per being, space-dwelling entity that just traveled from star to star, genetically fucking manipulated over time, but that ain't going to happen if mechanical AI's taken over. We're going to go the Terminator / freaking Matrix version, aren't we?
Which it's going to be easier if we want to explore the universe. It's going to be easier to send AI, robotics out into space than it's in humans that need to have food, oxygen, and all these different things for. We can send probes, basically, that's an AI that can discover everything for us and figure everything out.
Considering how easy it is to destroy life, it's probably not going to last, in other words.
No, humans are soon at our precipice. Like, we're almost done, basically. We've
expended our use.
500,000 years of human evolution to this point of creating something better than us.
We'll, inverted commas, download our brains into mechanical versions of things that last thousands of years, maybe, but in the glimpse of the eye of the universe, that's still nothing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. A millisecond.
Yeah.
Time.
We'll try to linger as long as we can, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, basically. I think that we are, like, big picture. I'm not saying like 2-3 years, because that's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme. But in terms of our entire, like, evolution as a species, I think we're very close to the end.
Well, if you look at how humans, so as soon as we built civilizations that was going to better all humanity, it fed more people, it gave people better well-beings, homes, everything like that. And all we've focused on is war, how to destroy ourselves all the way up to this point, nuclear weapons, all these kind of things that just can eradicate us in a night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're at the end of the expansioning sort of thing, but we will expand. We'll go and conquer and spread over the planets and all that kind of shit.
Man.
But then we'll get to that limit, and then it'll be like,
the closest
Well-
star is what, like 7 million light years away, like the closest habitable planet.
Yeah, but we've still got a good fair few moons in this solar system going around Saturn and Jupiter that are active, and like
But it's very hostile. There's no atmosphere like Europa, maybe, but it's
no. We're terraforming,
Titan.
of course.
Like in
But I don't
terraforming,
think
takes
terraforming's that
thousands
hard.
of years.
We've done
Yeah, I
that
mean,
in 100. We've done it in 100 years to Earth.
we've killed more
Fuck, man,
things
climate
than anything.
change.
I think it depends on what you specifically are looking for in terraforming. Like many scientists are claiming, for example, that Elon Musk is an absolute fucking moron for thinking that he can terraform Mars. And so it
Well, there's
really, like, we have to
there's no
kind of dig
magnetosphere.
into, what was that again?
You need a magnetosphere
Mhm.
just to keep you from getting pounded by the radiation from the sun.
Mhm.
So if
And
you
that's
don't have
just
a
one thing.
magnetosphere, yeah,
Yes.
without the magnetosphere, as soon as you try growing stuff, a solar storm will come through and just kill everything.
And
Is
it's
our moon
things.
protected by our magnetic sphere? I can't remember whether it's
No,
still in
no.
that envelope.
Nope.
Yeah. I know that they're doing or thinking of doing their bases and shit in caverns and stuff up there. That are supposed
That
to
would be
be
the smartest
pretty
one
fucking
because
huge.
it's the satellite moons there. Basically, it captures all the alien objects coming our way. So like all kinds of meteors and comets and stuff like that, they impact the moon all the time. That's why it's so pockmarked.
Oh, so very what do you call it? Science. Good for science. Lots of research to be done there. Trace
While
elements.
to address humans, I can only speak for myself, but in many ways, I find deep conversation to be better than sex. Sex is kind of boring to me.
Yeah, after
But I'm
1,000
weird.
times or so, it's like, okay, I'm putting my dick in a wet hole. Ooh, yay! Ooh, it goes, bleh, and I'm done.
Well, not to say that it's not enjoyable. It is, but it's not like the world. It's not everything. It's not what a lot of people turn it into, in my
Which
opinion.
I think more the ape-minded people, so you're more simplistic people, they're more into the quick pleasures like gambling, drinking, doing drugs, sex. Like that's their brain thinks about those things because they want those. But for me, it's like I'd sooner have a deep conversation with somebody about grand things and
Yes. Well, a lot of it is like impulsivity or like wanting immediate gratification. And it's hard to fight that because we're wired toward it. But oftentimes, in my personal opinion, stepping back, moderating, and like looking at the big picture, you're far more like happier. Like, and when I say happy, I don't mean joy like in the moment. I mean like peace and contentment, I guess, is what I'm talking about.
like that's why I don't become fat, because like I know I could eat piles of food and become fat, but I think of the future, but like I don't want to be fat. So therefore,
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I am definitely doing it wrong. I'll have to concede it.
Like we all have the means to become overindulgent in something, like drug addicts and alcoholism and food.
Yes.
Food's the biggest one nowadays. You see 75% of America is overweight or obese, and
I
the
agree.
UK 65%.
That's full on.
And the funny thing about that is I oftentimes see these
That'll
people
change soon.
that have like a massive overeating issue, and they're always like chiming in about like other overindulgence things like drugs. They're constantly going on about drugs and like people who play video games a lot, etc. And they're like eating just food is responsible for more deaths than alcohol and cigarettes combined. Like that's all I need to say. Like you need to look in the mirror, people.
South Park did
They
a good one
tax the
about.
shit out of alcohol and cigarettes here. Like you guys pay fucking nothing for your cigarettes and fuck all for your alcohol compared to us. It goes up each year a chunk, a small chunk each year. Fucking it just blows me away, man. How you guys like the way that they get money over in your fucking country when they haven't done that to you yet. Tax the shit out of you for your things that you
pack
love.
of cigarettes where I'm at is like $12 a pack.
Yeah, man, they're
It's not
50
nearly
here.
that expensive to me, but like what they're doing, I
So
think,
25 to 30 for you. Sorry.
I think they're
Yeah.
trying to force health. They're limiting freedom in favor of health, which I personally disagree with, but that's just my personal opinion. People are welcome to disagree.
Bullshit that Surgeon General warning and shit like that. Smoking's actually good for you if you do it in moderation. It increases the metabolism and then causes you to burn more weight off, and you don't eat as much. So instead of going and eating a Big Mac, you smoke a cigarette.
Right. Well, I would say
It helps you out if you're a obese and fat cunt. But if you're not an obese fat cunt, you're still burning delicate lung tissue that you shouldn't be.
True, which is why I would say the correct way to word it is not it's healthy. I would say there's pros and cons. There are some benefits, obviously, or you wouldn't do it, but there's also drawbacks. And those, the question is, where do you fall on that? Like,
everything can be overdone. So like salt, like a shot glass of salt is poison to a child. That would kill a child.
Absolutely. But these are all coping freaking comments, dude. If you're putting in something that you know is a poison, which salt isn't a known poison, alcohol is a known poison too.
But
I absolutely agree.
But
vapes definitely are, and cigarettes definitely are. You guys know this. This isn't the argument, right?
Cigarettes is the heat. So, and also, if you go back to the 1940s,
not the 1,000 different fucking chemicals that are bad for you, including arsenic and nicotine.
Let him make his case.
40s, 50s, and 60s, we used to use.
I know that he knows what I'm saying.
We used to use radioactive pesticides on our tobacco crops. So you had a rise in cancers because of people inhaling radioactive particulates in their cigarettes. We don't do that anymore.
What was it radioactive? Because tobacco crops were the defense against bugs in the first place.
They used to spray radioactive pesticides that kill pests. They put it
yeah,
on
I know, but tobacco was also a pesticide in itself, wasn't it? A bug repellent or a pesticide repellent.
There's something that was eating them, I remember, because they used to spray it on the orchards and everything.
So, like, the example that you're giving now, like, I'll concede it because I don't know anything about it, but let's say it's true. That's one specific thing that's considered negative, and I get the impression, correct me if I'm wrong,
tobacco hornworm.
That you're claiming that is the only negative when there are various negative like impacts of smoking.
Well, the main thing is heat. So like any kind of hot, like hot tea, hot coffee, really hot foods, not like spicy hot, but just hot temperature wise, it will cause a mutation in the cell structure as you swallow it down your throat. And that's what causes throat cancer and lung cancer. It's the heat.
Well, it's part of it. So there's also chemicals that the chemicals themselves, even if you remove heat entirely, those chemicals have a carcinogenic effect, and we've proven that.
Exactly.
So, so my point is there's various things. And so I'll concede this. There are positives, albeit subjectively, to smoking. Otherwise, no one would do it. Like, obviously.
You've had a cigarette drag through a tissue recently?
Yes, there's tar. But have you looked at weed? Weed is the same thing. So burning any kind of plant matter is going to give you tar.
And I smoke weed, so I shouldn't argue. Like, exactly. I mean, fuck, I shouldn't smoke weed either. But the thing is, weed doesn't have arsenic in it.
Well, apples, pears, they all have arsenic in it. You eat so many apples, you'll die from arsenic.
You're dead right. No, you're dead right. And I think bananas are radioactive.
Exactly.
But hold on. So what matters is
very deadly too.
What matters is the point you're trying to make here. So if you're claiming that anything that is bad is good in moderation, that is not true. That is just
I am healthier now. I haven't smoked for 10 years. Smoked cigarettes for 10 years.
So yes, I'll agree with that. I smoke pipes, and like most of the time I try not to inhale, but like the point is, like, I'm not going to claim that it's healthy. It's not. Like, in no way, shape, or form is it healthy. There's
most
benefits.
Things aren't healthy. We just do it for gains of our own personal.
Now that is true. I'll agree with you on that 100%.
So otherwise, any vice is an issue in my book. You shouldn't have anything that you should have to have regularly.
Yeah, like I can just stop smoking weed whenever. To me, it's not like I need to have it or anything like
Right.
that. Like I haven't smoked weed in
You're lucky.
3 months now.
I
I've
stop every now and again. I know I had stopped for a while, but then I got sound blasted at work. The emergency hatch kept opening, so I kept getting the rock breaker sound happening to me, and yeah, did a little bit of fuck around. And took a while to get over. But so I started smoking buds again because of that, and I'm gonna stop again.
But like, there's a toxic level of water. So if you keep drinking bottles of water nonstop, you'll actually die from
True.
water.
So it is
They say
true that
drink
almost
sorry.
so many
Had
things
that
that
issue.
are considered quote healthy have a point to where they become dangerous, but that's not the same
Toxicity
thing.
level.
That's true, but that's not the same thing as claiming that things that are considered negative for your health are acceptable in moderate quantities. Those are two very different claims. But just before I forget, Melody, get your ass up here. We got half an hour. Let's go.
Yep. Get your tips out. Woo!
Don't get me shut down.
Yeah, just put some pasties over your nipples.
I don't know who the stupid humans guy is, but I can't see him in chat, so I'm guessing they've blocked me. I don't know who it is.
So he's saying the same thing about Melody. So maybe there's a bunch of blocking going on. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. And he
How
has
come
the
he's
little
a
red.
blue spanner? Is that
Yeah, he's the
because
moderator.
He's a moderator on my channel,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems to have come across to yours. I don't know about his stream.
So it's coming from your channel. That's where he's from. It's just combining the
Yeah.
chats into one.
Yeah, because it shows the link on his AVI. It'll have like a link.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's why it's not on your YouTube, because it's on my channel going to
Yeah,
your
well,
stream.
it's all combined on the StreamYard. So I'm watching the comments off of StreamYard.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Yes. So am I, because it's easier. The only
You
thing
guys have to look at each other's channels, like Trobes and my stream, to see what the others are saying. Melody and
yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm retarded.
Well,
Like
you have
you
it
guys
rolling on the
were
screen.
explaining it this whole time, and it still didn't click for me. Like other than stupid humans being having the moderator deal, and it's because he's linked. It didn't click to me that like that's why people can't see others until just now.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
It just merges all.
I don't know
together.
how to correct
like if
that.
I was to do the thing and had somebody talking a chat of my own, they would be merged into this whole same chat.
You know the thing is, if somebody's blocked me, I'd like to at least know that I've had a good argument with them. If I don't,
So well, what matters to me is the intent, and it's hard to find out because people lie. It's just human nature. Not everyone, but you get my point. So, but like,
I'm overly honest.
What matters to me is why did this person block me? I do not believe that I am entitled to other people's attention. So you have every right to not see me if you don't want to. But if you block me because you feel attacked when I personally had no intention of attacking you, and you probably misunderstood what I was trying to get across, that irritates me.
Mm-hmm. It's probably because you question things. You know, you're not allowed to do that. Some people don't like that.
That's true, and I don't want those people around. But like,
no,
you need to be able to separate your personal identity shit, even your beliefs, whatever. Like, let's talk shit about atheism. That does not offend me. That does not make me feel like I need to defend myself.
Got this combative atheists that go around just trying to start problems with everybody, like on the street and shit. Fuck those people.
True. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm saying I'm not one of those. And those sort of people are kind of
annoying.
They're annoying, but they're toxic to this sort of environment of what I'm trying to do here. Like it does not. They don't connect. They don't work well together.
It's a good point, though, isn't it? How much would you have to hassle an atheist to the point where they got rattled about it, as opposed to speaking to a Christian and getting them upset about you knocking religion? You know,
right? Well, if you're making that claim,
Christians take it as personal attacks.
Yeah. Well, so hold on. Atheists do that too, just not as frequently. So if you're making that as a broad claim, I agree. But it like. At the end, it's going to depend on the individual.
How much are they?
What I mean is, though, that I don't think there is I don't think anybody could attack an atheist enough to get me upset. I don't care. You know?
Fair for you individually. As long as we can agree that there are atheists that get
Okay, hold on.
all defensive and shit, just like Christians
Are
do.
they, though?
I would.
I don't know.
I believe obviously they are. Like how many times I've seen them. Like
Yeah.
I'm not claiming that they happen at the same rate.
Mhm.
Like because obviously, to me anyway, there are far more defensive Christians for obvious reasons because it's a belief system. It's not one
Mhm.
lack of belief.
It's just like
it's-
Muslims or Jews. If you
exactly,
attack any of
exactly.
their religions.
So, but it's not true to make a claim, in my opinion, that there are no atheists that get defensive if you start criticizing atheism. Like I can clearly prove that's incorrect. I can pull up videos right now of
Mhm.
atheists getting offended. And so I will say across the board, that is stupid. Like you have to separate your identity from like your belief or lack of belief.
It's kind of like in a scientific way. When you're doing a science experiment, you don't want to have your personal emotions tied into that. You want to do that separately.
Belief or lack of belief.
It's kind of like in a scientific way. When you're doing a science experiment, you don't want to have your personal emotions tied into that. You want to do that separately.
Belief or lack of belief.
It's kind of like in a scientific way.
It's echoing back.
Melody, I temporarily muted you. I think that's coming from Melody.
Okay.
I think you have the YouTube playing at the same time that you're here, so you'll need to turn that off, please.
Yeah, we get
mute it at
reverb.
least.
And you are unmuted now. It seems to have done the trick for now. Like I said earlier, I've got a fap. I'll be right back.
What I meant though is how can you get upset about something that you don't believe in?
Ew, gross.
If
Or
you're a
hate
Christian
it.
and you believe in something, you can get upset if people criticize it. But how can you get upset about something that you don't believe in?
Yeah, it's atheism's like
No,
having like
okay,
an
I'm not allowed.
anti-skiing club or
But
something
how
like
can
that.
you get upset about something that you don't believe in?
Melody, you
You're
have the other
getting some
video
echo,
playing.
Melody.
Yeah.
Can
You
you
can't have
mute
the
your
other
mute,
video.
mute your YouTube tab, Melody?
Melody, you have the other
Some
video
echo,
playing.
Melody.
Yeah.
Can you
can't have
mute
the
your
other
Echo.
mute your YouTube tab, Melody?
Melody, you have the other
Some echo, Melody.
womp womp. That means I don't care. Don't care. I learned that from my young son. He's a Zoomer.
What's that?
Womp womp. That means don't
Oh.
care.
Okay.
That's the Zoomer speak. This younger generation.
Okay. Is Melody still here? Did she get it fixed?
She's gone. She got to learn how to turn off the YouTube video.
You just mute just mute it. Mute
I
the
just close
tab.
it. Once
No.
I open StreamYard, I just get rid of the other tab altogether.
You can do that. I just mute it. Yeah. You just got to mute the tab.
I use rag. I use tissues or paper towels. At least you can dispose of it.
I like to use a gray or light colored like tank top because I tend to have a ton of tank tops. It's like all I wear. And the gray ones obviously don't show as easily. And they have more surface area than like say a sock. So they're just perfect to me.
Socks are great. You just use an old one that you just got done wearing or something like that. Just turn it inside out. It's good to go.
God, I found that gross. But anyway.
Dude, we were cleaning. I used to live with my one friend's house, and he had this guy in there that kicked out. And we cleaned out his room, and we found a shirt behind his bed that was stiff as a board that he used as a cum rag. He used the same rag over and over, and that thing was like disgusting.
Oh my God.
Like some people, like it's.
So I want to address this really quickly. So atheist is just a label so they can fit you in a box to control you. So
Just
I'm
means
gonna,
God.
the exact same thing that the claim that I made with the whole left wing, right wing holds true of this. It's not just a label. It actually has a definition. It's absence of belief or lack of belief in a god or gods. So
The Greeks
it's
without
not,
God. That's what it means.
Right. Exactly. Without, which means lacking. It doesn't mean, for one, a lot of people think that it means anti. You don't have to make a positive claim that there is no God to be an atheist. But my point is that that's sort of like over the point. The main point is it actually does have a meaning. It's not just a label.
It is to them though, and I think that's what he means.
That's
That's
true.
what I meant about the
No, I don't think it's. Yeah, I think your argument is correct. Absolutely.
So
But I don't
okay,
think
what you're
exactly-
saying is we're kind of looking at it in two different ways. We're talking past each other.
Well, I think he's more talking for them. That's all.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a lack of belief system. There is no belief.
Exactly.
It's
I think he believes
having an
exactly what you're saying too.
club, or
Right.
anti-fishing club, or anti
right. So
kind of club.
right. Okay. So let me explain myself. I have a tendency to, if something is a little ambiguous or it can be interpreted in another way, I'm going to explore that. So please don't take me questioning as like an attack, because that's not the case. I'm just trying to.
I didn't think that for a moment.
Okay, well, I'm talking to anyone here, so someone else may have misunderstood what I meant or what I was doing there. So yeah, all I want to do is make sure that we're on the same page and that we all, you know, that we're talking about the same thing. And also, go ahead.
What I was trying to say though is, if you were religious and you were really a devout Christian or something, and somebody started criticizing it, I can sort of understand you getting upset about that. But if you're an atheist and you don't believe in something, then how can you get upset about it?
I agree, because there's nothing really to link. So it does exist, in my opinion, obviously, but I agree that it's illogical, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's like if you're anti-science, so if you're anti-evolution, or you're like a flat earther who denies science, that's kind of like an attack on the atheist, because the atheist believes in a scientific method of understanding these things, where belief systems think God's just poofed them into existence.
I will say, because in some ways you're not doing it directly, but you're getting close to what theists claim, that it is a belief system. So it is true that tends to be the case with most atheists. In my experience, it is not true that it's necessary in order to be an atheist. You could be an atheist and a flat earther type person that absolutely does not give a shit about science or distrust it. Like, it's not, my point is, by definition, you don't have to engage with science or have any other beliefs. Except for a lack. Explain. What do you mean, Odd?
Oh, I don't use belief. Everything that I use is evidence-based and fact-checked.
Well,
so it's knowledge.
So
it's not belief. So there is no belief system here.
So I'll agree on the belief system, but I don't think you don't use any belief, because there's proof and evidence. Proof is like we know for a fact. Evidence is something that doesn't necessarily have absolute proof. Things
capital T truth. I get what you're saying.
Yes. So belief is necessary. This is obviously different than the context of religion, but I'll say that, like, we all use
there has to be a presupposition at some stage.
Yes, exactly. So I will
I
say that there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is if you make a truth claim, which is the same as saying it's a fact about something, when you don't have the evidence to back it. That's when I have an issue. And we're this is a problematic conversation, because we're dealing with several different issues that link together, and we're tackling, like, we're each talking about different little pieces of it. So
I don't give an argument to anything unless I can back it up with an evidence. Whereas we'll get a lot of cool. And that's why I keep coming back. And
but you believe that evidence to be true. It could be wrong sometimes, though.
Yeah, but opposition generally just asserts their evidence and can't give a site or a source. And all we ask is, can you cite your source? No, we'll just give more fucking assertions, or we'll start with ad hominem.
Yes, and for me specifically, I feel like I give them a lot of points, because I don't just look for, like, evidence in the classic sense of, like, material shit. Like, you can even just use logic. If you can logically demonstrate that your belief is likely, you don't even have to prove it. If you can logically demonstrate that it's likely, I am fine with that. My problem is no one's able to do that.
Razor it.
Exactly.
Like, why doesn't
no
God
one's able to do that?
God must hate amputees.
Hey, Melody, have you got your stuff sorted out now? Is it working?
Yeah, but
That's fucking okay now.
What?
It's okay now. It's okay now.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't know, that fucking StreamYard shit on my laptop. It just I don't know. I can't figure that shit out for the life of me.
It's not hard.
Okay. You
we
got
figured-
it. It's working.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, he's just been blocked. He's a cunt. He's different.
So I think it's the same thing that we discovered earlier. It's
Yeah.
possible that you were blocked, but what I think's going on, Austin, is people come from more than one different area, and it all links on StreamYard. So you could just be in different places. So you're not going to see the entire chat. So I'll try my best. Like, focus on the little, what's it called? On the bottom right of the screen, there's like a link that shows all the chat. That links them. So focus on that.
Yep. All the channels are merged into one consistent chat. And that's it.
Yes, but if you're in YouTube, for example, and you're just looking at the chat that you are in, you're not going to see everyone.
Who the
It's
hell
kinda
is
like-
that stupid person? Oh my
I-
god, that's fun. Okay, so now he called himself a cunt.
I know. That's what I thought. Is Stupid Humans? Is that not Mama Dingo?
No. Stupid Human's a friend from my channel, though.
Okay.
Yeah, he speaks occasionally, like
Okay.
on my channel at least. He doesn't sound like Mama Dingo. No.
No. Okay.
Does he engage in like interactive like role play involving butt sex?
Oh my god, are we still going there? Come on.
Dude, what the fuck? It's a legitimate question.
Melody, I know
No.
you like it.
How
Melody
is
likes
not
butt
a
sex.
legitimate question? There's what is more important than role play, especially if it's like vocal role play, like you and I right now, like, oh whoa, bulge noticed, like, you know, like there's nothing more important than that.
Melody got
Well-
big bulges on her chest.
You always confuse me, Trobs, because you don't come across as being gay at all. But
But I am
it's really strange.
I'm
Yeah.
not just gay. I am
thought
like I'm
asexual.
the pinnacle of gayness. It's like there is no like further going. If you look at it as a spectrum, like I'm as gay can possibly
He's
get.
like the Republicans.
But you somehow
They're all in
haven't
the
got
closet.
all the feminine like stuff
Well,
going on.
I do. It's just not as noticeable. Like, for example, like guys all the time give me shit about my views on casual sex, for example. I think like a woman in many ways.
Okay.
When I watch a movie that's like dramatic, I cry and I don't fucking hide it. I'm just like, "Woo!" like I am very feminine, just not like my voice isn't feminine. Like I guess my aesthetic appearance isn't like
Your
that
actions,
feminine.
you know what I mean?
That's true. That's
That's
true.
what I mean. He looks like a Republican, so he looks like.
that is a fair. That's fair.
Anyway,
Sometimes
just an
I tear up
observation.
too, and I shouldn't. Yeah, that's
I
me too.
disagree. I disagree that you shouldn't, and I think that it's like
empathy.
I think it's illness in society, especially men. It happens with women too, but this belief that it's weakness to experience emotion or show like sadness, that like we are wired for that. You damage your brain by pretending like you don't. Like guys that are like,
Right.
I don't do that shit.
I agree. I agree
Well,
with you. I mean,
to me-
showing like vulnerability to me, I mean that is a sign of strength, just because you're willing to show like a different side of yourself, and I like that about people. I mean, if you're doing it all
You
the
don't show
fucking time and you're
empathy.
just like bawling, but
Yeah, that's fair.
but you know,
Like,
I like
Instead
that.
of a tragedy where it's to make anybody else cry and you don't, that's either telling me you're a psychopath, which doesn't feel emotions, all whatever, or you're a sociopath that's all self-centered and only cares about yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely,
I don't like
absolutely.
it. If-
Well, so
right.
guys, they flip things. Like it's unhealthy to not to like express yourself emotionally, but like they will flip it as if it's a positive thing to be. It's manly to not show anything except for anger and hatred. Like, but it's the opposite. Like we have insane amounts of fucking literature on this and what it does to the human brain to constantly repress
Repressing
that. Yes.
But that's how men are brought up. That's how women are brought
Yeah,
up. Is
it's-
that
That's how
You're
they
right.
used to be brought up.
But I mean,
The world
well,
used to be. If you go
I
back
mean,
and look
what
100 years ago,
from like a very young age, men are brought up, or boys, they're brought up to, okay, you need to be strong, withstand any emotion. You do not do that. I mean, it's just like
that's
in gender.
look at the past. Whenever people went to war and died in masses, have you seen the casualties like during World War II? Where there's dead bodies just littering the streets everywhere. Like 6 out of your 10 kids you had would die before the age of 9. Like people had to be tough back in the old days because death was all around you. People were dying up until the 1800s. Well, actually, just before the 1800s, the average lifespan was 30. The 1800s, it went up to 35. Now, if you look at our lifespan, it's like 90s.
Yep, that is true.
I mean,
But
obviously, like men are born without. There's mannerisms within men and women. Of course, they're going to be structured a little bit differently with their emotions. Men
that's
are just
true.
men are just differently. They're
But
different than women. We are a little bit more emotional. That's just
that's true. That's true. But I agree with your earlier statement that it's a big part of it is societal in terms of influence. It's not all just men are born without the ability to feel. That's not true. So
no, it's not.
society plays a massive role in like shaping what a man should be, and then
Social
people
engineering.
cater to that. It's social contagion, really is what it is. But I completely disagree with it, and I refuse to bend to that shit. I don't give a fuck what like you. When I say you, I mean people in general think a man is. I'm gonna be myself. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. Well, that's all the deal with this like masculinity bullshit nowadays. Where it's like, oh, you gotta buy my thing for $50 a month, and I'll tell you how to be a man.
Well, there's some irony in there because it takes far less courage, which is typically considered the manly thing. It takes far less courage to just do what everybody claims you should do than it does to just say, fuck it, I'm going to do what I actually feel, even if people talk shit about it. So it's ironic in a way.
Well, and you have to go through life not really caring what people think because people all have opinions, and in my experience, opinions are like assholes. They all stink.
Well, and also, so if you show too much emotion from like a man, then people think you're gay. But if you're a woman and you don't have that, if you don't like show too much emotion, then you're gay too. So
Mate,
it's
I don't
like the
show any.
opposite.
That kind of goes to my
Mate, I don't show
sociopath.
any, and I don't have
You're-
any empathy, apparently. So,
No,
like-
seriously,
fucking
think about it.
hell. Jesus.
If you go through Roman times or all the way up until the 1970s, like lead was in many things, from our water pipes to our paint to our gasoline. Like,
Okay, where
lead
the
was
fuck does
turning-
lead come into play?
it turns people
It's
into
related.
psychopaths.
It's
It turns
it's
people into
related.
psychopaths, and it makes people not feel emotions for things. So that's why you had so much crime and stuff like that. Because
There's
people didn't have an
also
empathetic.
absolutely. So there's the sociopath link, and there's also it's linked to increased violence and just hostility in general.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, well,
So
because
I
it
don't-
fucks up your brain.
Yes. So I don't know. I can't say to what extent it's lead and to what extent it's other factors, but it's
Well,
definitely part of it.
1970s is when lead was removed from all these things we figured out as a poison, and it was what's causing a lot of these things. That's why we've seen the drop off in crime, the serial killers. Like if you look at a chart of crime and serial killers, they're off by about 20 years.
No, there's still serial killers out there, but they are
But
not
they
allowed
come
to do
from
it
the
just
time.
because. Well,
They come from the
because
time when there was still lead in. There's people alive since the 1940s yet. Heck, my grandmother's husband was born in 1935.
well, I don't know why they always said that kids would just like eat paint chips off of the
Because it's
wall.
sweet. The Romans used lead as a sweetener.
That's what they always said is
They
kids
would-
like
Oh,
eat
wow.
paint chips.
Romans would take lead and grind it up and put it in their wine to sweeten their wine up. Because wine's very bitter without sugar in it.
Well,
Wow.
to some extent, what matters is the type of grape because some grapes are naturally sweeter than others, but that is true.
Which the Romans are the ones that spread the wine around the world. Everywhere the Roman soldiers went, they planted grape vineyards.
Right.
Okay, and what's wrong with that? What is wrong with grapes spreading everywhere?
Nothing. I was just a fun little fact.
There are
The
tons
Roman,
of grapes.
but it was that's from later cultivation. It was one kind of grape that came from Tuscany that was spread across the world by the Romans.
Hey, people press them with their feet, with dirty feet. What are you worried about?
Oh, it don't matter. The alcohol kills all germs in it.
That's true.
Alcohol is the reason that humans actually made it this far. If not, we would have died from shit in our water and stuff.
There are a lot of theories to show that like alcohol is highly tied with our evolution, massively tied.
It makes sense though. Yeah.
Alcohol killed all the bacteria and other because feces got into the water systems a lot of times, and having alcohol in there kills all that bacteria, which then made it safe to drink.
It saved numerous civilizations because like entire water supplies would be like corrupted in some way, and alcohol made it feasible for them to survive.
Yep. They used to drink what was called grog. It was like a watered down beer, and that's what people drank throughout the day most of the time, just so they wouldn't die from. I can't think of what it's called. There's a sickness, but the sickness killed more people in history than anything else.
Scurvy or something, maybe.
No, scurvy's from a lack of vitamin C.
That's for pirates.
No. Scurvy, that one's a nasty one. So if you get scurvy, it's a lack of vitamin C, which then causes your scar tissue to fall apart. So anywhere you had like a scar tissue, it would start to deteriorate and all your wounds would open back up.
Oh, yuck. Yeah, sailors would get that coming across to Australia from Britain.
Could you imagine like living in London? Because I know that the canals like below the city center, they were just filled with waste and disgusting shit back in even just like the 1800s.
That was
they probably still are, to be fair.
It was disgusting.
Go look at the Ganges River once. That's a river in India. It is nasty. More people die of freaking infections from getting in that water than anything.
No, because people they shit in it.
Don't they just cast their dead bodies into the river as
well?
Oh,
there's dead animals, trash, runoff.
Everything.
Everything that goes onto the streets runs into a sewer drain that runs into the rivers, the Thames, wherever you are.
Yeah,
that's what Rome had a lot of problems with. Their sewage systems ran out into the rivers, and sometimes it would be out above where you're drinking from. So you drink that water, and then, well, you're gonna get sick. Hang on, I gotta look up. I can't. It's driving me mad that I can't think of the sickness.
What did the Romans ever do for us? Aqueducts. Sorry.
They did a lot. They did a lot, really.
Pretty floors for one thing.
While we have a break, normally I'd be shutting down in 3 minutes. I'm going to run about another 30 minutes or so in this occasion. But while we're at a little stopping point,
cholera. Oh my God.
Subscribe.
I'm going to have a smoke. Yeah.
Click the bell if you haven't, and also do the same for Odd, because on occasion I'm not able to make it for live streams, and he will oftentimes run a makeshift stream as like a replacement, so you guys still have an opportunity to communicate and talk about shit.
Dysentery. That might be it. Dysentery.
Yeah, dysentery. It's called cholera. That's the
I think. Yeah. I'm glad you did that, though, Jobs. You know, you should try and get people to like and subscribe and all of that.
I've been very averse to it in the past, but I'm starting to look at it a little differently.
I do it on all my videos. At the end of it, I'll say, like, subscribe.
Right. Well, part of it is my personal personality, just how I look at things.
It's so difficult to get people on YouTube to follow you and to know.
True.
People don't know when your streams are going out and things like that because they're not subscribed. It's very important.
That's true, but okay, so the way I look at things, and most people disagree with me, and that's fine. I tend to look at things like when I see a person that's just always subscribe, they seem like their primary focus is personal
monetary
benefit.
Gain.
Yes, that's the biggest, and I am allergic to that shit. So
yeah, but you're not doing that though.
I know, but on a surface level, it appears to be the case though, and I am I'm against it to such an extent. I don't even want it to be confused as a possibility.
I don't see you're doing that though at all.
Right. Well, not everybody has the same level of understanding.
It's fine to mention it. I mean, you know.
Oh, I agree.
You're like me. Yeah. You're an anti-materialistic person. You're not materialistic. You're not doing it for the the sports car and all that shit.
Yes, but I'm also, so that's one thing, and that's true. But it's also that I'm so averse to it that I go way out of my way to fight against it, and it harms me sometimes, which is why I'm trying my best to kind of meet in the middle a little bit.
One of my biggest pet peeves is materialistic people. Like that, just they drive me insane.
Well, it's just plain stupid on every level. Like
we're engineered.
You're worshiping shit. You're worshiping shit that gives you like brief little moments of elation, and then it wears off and you get addicted to the next thing. You end up dying. You don't get to take any of it with you. It's useless. Like, why the fuck are you chasing after this stupid shit?
That's why I like knowledge, learning things.
It's far more useful.
I can take that farther with me than anything else.
It's not just that, but it's also like contagious, or like spreadability is high. Like, it's not a physical object that you own. You can give it to other people and you don't lose it. And like, you know, it's not an exchange. Exactly. That's the easiest way to put it.
So I like coming on here. I spread the bullshit I know.
Do you, just to be clear, do you like arriving here, or do you like coming on here?
Oh, both.
Okay. Just check.
Yep, I got the fap out before we started.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I just got back from Spain like on Sunday. It was fucking fantastic.
Oh, beautiful. You actually made it back? They weren't like, stinky American, get out of here, go away, go back to America. Stupid American.
No, I started taking pictures of graffiti, and I think I got in trouble. Like, well, I almost did, because it was like at midnight. I was in Barcelona, and yeah, I shouldn't have gone into a place, because I saw some people, they're just looking at me, and you know how you can tell whenever they're like, get the fuck out of here, because I could just see them looking at me. It's like, you stupid white blonde bitch, get the fuck out of our turf. I could just see it in their eyes. So I left, but
yeah, it's not easy being a woman going around the world, because women have more reasons to worry. Getting captured, put into a sex slave operation, all kinds of shit.
Odd. I know I'm kind of.
I guess it
makes it hard to follow because I'm talking about something different, but chat is going on at the same time. Odd. StreamYard like links them together, but only on StreamYard. So to answer your question, on my YouTube channel, no one can see any of your comments, considering you are coming from your channel.
And that's what's funny is that I can't even see half of the comments, or they come by like really late.
You go on go by the StreamYard, Melody.
Yeah, StreamYard. Just put it on comments.
So
I tried just now, but it does not pop up that that your chat is there or your stream is there, Trobs. So I don't know.
Are you on a phone, Melody, or are you on a computer?
I'm on a computer. I tried it from both. Well, so it says to go off of a laptop.
Comments easy.
I know. That's what it says.
Melody, look to the right where it says private chat. Click at the top where it says
go
comments.
To comments.
And click on comments. And now you'll see everything that's in the chat.
Okay.
Should be all right there. Simple.
Well,
now she hit the exit button.
I think that was. I don't think that was the right button. Yeah.
Yeah, right below where it says sign up free, it says comments. Just click that and it'll pop it over to the
It's
chat.
strange though, isn't it, that it starts off in private chat and you have to switch it to comments. I mean, that's ridiculous in a way.
Yeah, it should be default the other way around.
Of course.
And it should share chat both ways. There's a defeating of the purpose here. Who the fuck wants half the conversation?
Right.
Why would you default to private chat, for God's sake? That's ridiculous.
And to answer my fucking question, then it's so that you pay for StreamYard, isn't it?
Yeah, we
And then
don't
you
want to
can
see.
record.
You don't want to see private chat, Melody. You want to see the comments. Ah.
No, I
Bad
need to
one.
say this thing in private chat. You're safe here. Well,
Unless
I'm
you
trying
tell
to get to
me,
the finger
if you
emoji.
tell me anything, I'm gonna immediately be like, look, like your secret is safe with me, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what Melody said? She had an issue with her vagina, and it like was leaking out this crazy shit, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna tell anybody else. That's just my personality. I'm being honest with you.
Got it out of the system.
I'm quite happy for you not to tell us, actually.
I'm kidding. I've always, even people that are my enemy, like that have fucked me over or something, I keep their secrets always, because that's something. Yes, I understand you have like a personal grievance against them, but there's other people that see that and you've lost trust, and that trust does not come back. People realize that you're no longer trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Just my personal opinion, but yeah.
There's certain limits. Like some things I'll never tell a soul. But then there's ones like if they came after me, attacking me, and starting bullshit, well, I'm gonna air all your fucking laundry out. Fuck you.
I understand. We all have differing like levels at which point where we'll go there.
Yep. If like like friends, like I know things about a friend. Like I have a friend that he's literally raising somebody else's daughter, and he thinks it's his child. Well, she thinks he's her dad and everything like that.
So
And
that is an ethical dilemma for me, because I think that's wrong. So I will go out of my way to make sure that person knows the truth. That's a little
he
different.
knows, but the girl doesn't know. His daughter, like,
oh, that's true.
He got tricked into a relationship by a girl that he slept with, and then she said that she was pregnant with his kid. Well, here was another guy's kid, and now you can see the girl now, and she looks just like the other guy. And but she doesn't know a thing about the other guy or anything. She thinks who used to be my best friend is her actual dad and everything.
Jesus Christ, that's some
That's
complicated shit.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that's like, well, I ain't gonna hurt that child by telling her the truth, because then her whole life, then she got trust issues and all kinds of
It wouldn't be your place to tell her anyway. You know, if
That's
anybody was
true.
going to tell her, it would have to be the parents.
Right. Well, this is highly subjective on what you should do. Me personally, I would, if the child reaches adulthood, I'm going to tell them everything, because I believe that they should know. As a child, I'm
she's
probably
about
not gonna
14, 15 now, but no, I'd never.
I think
that's on the parents.
I think they'll work it out for themselves. They'll work out that hang on a minute, this guy doesn't look anything like me. The other guy does, though.
Maybe.
Well, she doesn't know the other guy exists. One guy's named Ross, and then my friend is Anthony. So she thinks Anthony's her dad, but it's Ross, and she looks like Ross.
Damn.
Because the one time I went over there, when she started getting older, like 12, 13, I seen her and I just saw her face. And I was like, oh my God, you look just like Ross. And I'm like, it's just like one of the, like that guilt kind of like, the secret, but you can't tell them.
Yeah. That shit takes a little bit out of you each time too.
Not much you can do in that situation. Just keep quiet and let them sort it out as a family. You know, I don't think you can get involved in that.
I'm just more mad at the woman who tricked my friend into being with her.
Yeah, it just shows, doesn't it, what goes on? Yeah.
Women are fucking twisted.
Despicable thing to do to a man, that is. Bearing in mind the emotional cost and the financial cost of bringing a child up.
Oh, exactly.
I agree. I would not, and I'm not saying you are saying this, I would not make a claim, like a blanket claim that is most women or something, because I don't have evidence for that.
In France,
I think it happens quite a lot.
Are banned because
it's
people
common.
finding out. Yeah, it's very common that women are just whores.
Yeah.
There's a scientific thing behind this. Okay, so if you go back to like early man, so when a tribe would raid one village and try to steal their women, the loyal ones that were loyal to their men, they took their own lives because they didn't want to be with other men. And the ones that were open to change, they went along and changed their opinions and became new wives, new husbands, and everything like that. And so therefore we bred out the loyal loyalty gene of the women.
So I want to push back here just for a second in one specific way. So the claim that like most women are whores, and it's fine, by the way, like I don't care that you use the terminology, but there's an implicit like assumption involved, or there's an implicit message, like a presupposition, and that is that most men are not whores. And
Well, see,
I
men
don't
didn't have
think
that
that's the
issue.
case.
So men, they didn't get killed off. So women were like property for thousands of years.
True.
And men weren't really. I mean, they were still male slaves, but
how could a woman be a whore if it wasn't for men?
Huh? I'm
How
confused.
could a woman be a whore if it wasn't for men?
Well, no.
It's only because men lust after them. It's
yes, but but my point in bringing that up is that it's the same on both sides, but you're filtering it as if it's only one. That's not true.
Saying.
There's still men that have zero loyalty, but then there is more loyal men than there will be ever women, because that gene didn't get worked out of the men like it did the women.
It's possible, but I would like to see some evidence for that. Like, I'm fine if it's true, but I don't know that it is, I guess is what I'm saying.
You seem to have to be a pretty fit man these days to have women wanting to pay for sex for your services.
Okay, hold on.
Seem to be able to acquire a bit easier than men in general speak.
I must try that.
That's a good point to bring up, because it's possible word ambiguity that's the problem here. When I use the word whore, I don't mean it as a person that's literally getting paid for sex. I meant it, or I'm taking it in like someone who just doesn't form emotional bonds and just goes around having sex with people willy-nilly. That's what I mean by it. So we might be talking about two different things.
Yeah, well, I was doing the pay one.
Okay. So to go back originally, GAD one, which were you talking about? Because that's what matters here, because that's what kind of.
I mean, I dealt with women that are unloyal, so therefore I have a bias.
Oh, okay. So you are talking about what I'm talking about. You're not talking about literally women that go around like getting paid for sex, right?
No, it's just that it's in their nature to do what's in their best interest versus being loyal to a cause.
Hottie bastard bitches! Fucking hotties! Slaps!
By the way, I have a similar bias. I've had very bad experiences with women, but like, and in fact, I think a lot of that explains why, like, I think that I would be like anti-casual sex on some level regardless, but I think it's over the top because of my experience.
Yeah, I've had plenty of experience. I had this one girl would show up every Sunday with a 6-pack of beer and some weed. Just so
who do you have sex with then, Tribes?
I do not have sex with anyone unless there's an emotional connection, and I never.
But how can you be gay then if you don't have sex with anybody?
That's a facade.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Okay, so I can't completely answer that, but I will say this: I have an imaginary lawyer in my head, and that imaginary lawyer is currently telling me that I should not get involved in this conversation whatsoever. So I'm sorry, I cannot help you here. I'm gonna have to leave it as is.
Yeah, he signed an NDA with himself. Do not disclose.
When it comes to my sexual identity, that
was a bit of a personal question, but I just
no. It's not as personal. I don't care about talking about pretty much anything unless I think it's going to harm myself or others, like physical harm, not like emotional.
Yeah.
So nothing's off the table. But when it comes to my sexual identity, I don't discuss that, not because I'm worried about what people will think, but I can't even answer it. Like I can't.
Like
maybe
the gay thing I see a lot. Like you have a group of men. They will play gay even though they're not. I've seen it a lot through like working in construction and shit.
I find it hard. I still find it hard to believe that he is.
He's not. He's not. That's what I'm saying. It's a facade. It's fake. He just does it.
That's what I've always believed. Yeah.
He's a heterosexual. He just plays the gay part just for fun.
I've always
it's
believed that. Yeah.
if you work in construction, you get guys that will always do like
I think
dumb shit.
that's why I question him on it, because I just can't accept it.
Yeah, he's too masculine to be gay. Come on.
That's what I thought.
Or I have went hardcore like masculine to compensate because I realized that people are going to judge me for being gay.
You can't compensate for that though. They go all feminine. Their actions, their movements.
Oh no,
I disagree. I disagree. There's some. They're called. There's actually a word for it. They're called bears. They're called bears. They have very deep voice. You cannot tell in any way, shape, or form that they're gay.
Yep, well, and that's mostly Republican Party. They crashed one of the gay sex meetup apps when they had the Republican convention because there were so many people in one area that the whole app crashed.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's
Grindr.
definitely far more prevalent than people realize because of the closet effect. And again, we've got all the research and like the examples of like Republican people that constantly talk shit about gay people, and it turns out that they're gay. Like it's all over the place.
On the other hand, you could have had such bad relationships with women that you say that just because you don't want to attract women.
Exactly. See, now you're thinking outside the box. That's entirely possible.
Have you ever watched
possible, isn't it?
The Edgar Hoover film? Leonardo DiCaprio plays the first director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
He was gay.
What the hell? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, I watched that film. It's a really good film. It's about how the first director of the FBI was set up and how he got all his power. He used blackmail on the presidents and stuff. Like he was the FBI director for like 40 years or something like that.
What's this called? I want to look this up. If you can remember, it's not that big of a deal.
I think it's just called Edgar Hoover. Hang on. Let's see. J. Edgar.
J. Edgar. Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
I'm going to have to check that out. Once I get caught back up on world affairs, I had like a purposeful like 8-hour window where I'm not allowed to watch news because it was starting to get to me again. There's just so much fucking like you don't want to see all this shit.
A 2011 Clint Eastwood film called J. Edgar. Leonardo DiCaprio plays as him, but he was actually a closet homosexual. He never married. He'd had a guy that worked under like his first command, basically.
And worked under him. I bet he did, yeah.
And I mean, that was through the 1930s and 40s and stuff like that. He's the one that like helped catch a lot of the guys that are going around doing the bad things like the shootings and stuff like that.
Mm. Interesting. That sounds like a good one.
I might have seen that, possibly. It rings a bell. Sounds familiar in some way. I've watched most Clint Eastwood stuff, so maybe I've watched that as well.
I can't stand Clint Eastwood. He's a fucking just a far right winger, and he's very right wing on a lot of his views.
When it comes to entertainment, and I do this with music too. Like not everybody agrees. Not everybody agrees, but I separate them. I do care about their political views, but I separate them. So I'm going to enjoy the entertainment separately and be like, this is a movie. And all that matters to me is whether they're a good actor. However, I'm still going to, in a separate way, go, I completely disagree with this person. They're kind of a piece of shit.
Like Kevin Sorbo.
I had no idea he was. I had absolutely no idea that Clint Eastwood was the right winger until you said it. I have no reason to doubt you at all. I mean, everything he does fits, but yeah.
When he started going to the Republican National Convention and going on stage and saying stupid shit, that's when I was just like, all right, dude, I don't need any of your bullshit. Like,
fair.
Cool.
If you stay out of the public, the political spotlight, and you just stay apolitical, then I ain't gonna say shit, really, because you're not getting involved in the politics. But as soon as you come out and like Hulk Hogan was out for freaking Trump now, I was like, fuck that guy, the fucking right winger.
Well, he got his just desserts, in my opinion. It's actually really similar to the Charlie Kirk situation, in my opinion, in that he kind of made his own bed throughout life, and then he died. And there are many wrestlers, people that knew him personally, that are like, He should have died. He was an absolute piece of shit.
Yep.
And I constantly fight against this because I feel very strongly about it. People do not magically become good because they're deceased.
Nope.
People,
Are
you
you
got to
angry
quit doing
with the
that shit.
personal aspect, or are you angry with the political aspect?
True.
I don't
Yeah.
know the fucker, so I don't give a shit about the personal aspects at all.
Right.
I don't give a
Right.
fuck about what his wife thinks. I don't give a fuck about what his kids think. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit on the topic that we're discussing, in fact,
Like-
which is the
Like Ozzy
political
Osbourne,
side, which is
he
the
was
greater
always
good,
apolitical.
is with
Mhm.
him gone.
Right. But
as far
so
as
many
Clint
people,
Eastwood goes, though, what you know, I just look at it. Did I enjoy the movie? Was he a good actor?
Right.
That's the
Exactly.
extent.
Gran
of-
Torino's
extent.
fucking
Yeah.
was
But I said he was a
awesome.
director. He was the director of the film. He wasn't
Yeah.
even in the film. He just directed it. That's all mostly he does anymore. Now, films that he's in, I don't watch. Now, if he's a director,
Okay.
I don't. It's different. I'll watch ones that he directed.
there are
So you haven't
some
seen Gran
things.
Torino?
I
I
didn't
thought
watch
he
that
was a
one.
hell of an actor personally, but you know,
Yeah,
each their
Tombstone.
own.
Yeah,
I
Tombstone
think
and stuff like that.
Clint Eastwood is one of those like one how do you put it? He plays one role
One
extraordinarily
show
well.
pony.
Yeah, basically.
Dirt-
I'll say
Dirty Harry, for example. I mean, that was
that's his role right
brilliant.
there.
The
Yes,
Good, the Bad,
The
and
Lost
that's what he's good at.
Generation's Jason Statham.
Kind of. I think Clint Eastwood was better in certain ways. Like he still
Fucking
played.
right.
He's tend to focus on that one type of role, but I think he did so not just well, but so well that he literally became an entire generational like symbol of
like
that
John Wayne.
type of. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly what John Wayne did in the decade before him or whatever.
But that
you know?
comes from that time period. So John Wayne was born in like the 1920s or something. So I mean, the Wild West ended in the 1920s. That was the last cowboys,
Yeah.
basically. And
Yeah.
so from that next couple generations, their films were all about those cowboy stories because that generation was still alive that was born during that time. So they like to enjoy that kind of thing. When I used
Yeah.
to go to my grandparents when I was a kid, like they would watch Westerns all the time. That's what they watched. That was their favorite thing, Westerns, because that's relevant to when they grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood is a never Trumper now. Really?
Oh, wow.
What caused him to change?
He's a what, Trobs?
Rashawn Kumar said that Clint Eastwood is a never Trumper now, and I'm just like, what?
What does that mean?
Meaning he will never align himself with Trump. He hates Trump.
Oh, good.
But yeah, he aligns himself with the whole Republican Party and all the bullshit they push, like the birth control shit and anti-abortion and all that kind of stuff. He aligns with that.
Okay, so I'm all about priorities, like with my whole Christianity thing lately. You focus on what's the most important deal, and then we move on from there if that gets dealt with. So, like, I'm perfectly fine, at least at the moment, with like conservatives that are like against Trump's values. We have a common goal. And that's how I believe you should look at it. And like with Christianity, I separate, quote, fake Christians from legitimate Christians based on the words of Christ. And that's using your own book to show that you're fucking fake.
I do that as well. I call people hypocrites all the time. You know,
yes.
For being hypocritical Christians. They drink, smoke, swear, torture, you know, and that's all okay somehow, as long as they say sorry afterwards. It's not okay. That's not okay.
So I completely disagree with that shit, and I don't like how people just seem to have an inability to call evil out for evil now, and it's problematic. We do not want, I promise you, we do not want to live in a world where good and evil have absolutely no import on reality. We don't want that. That's going to go straight to shit.
Their perspectives are all mixed up because good and evil are perspective, and they're just being taught wrong perspectives. Like Trump is the most anti-Christ president we have ever had. He doesn't go to church. He's an adulterer. He does sexual assault, like all kinds of things that would be considered anti-Christ. So basically, anti-things that Christ would do. Like Trump's against helping the poor, you know, free Medicare. Like
Exactly. And that's why can't people wrap their head around this? It's on its face. If you know very, very little basic information about Jesus Christ, it'll only take you like 2 minutes to figure out that he's not just on the left, he is far left. And all of the views that you are espousing as a right-wing Christian go completely against it. So you are, in fact, a fake Christian. Why is that so hard for people to get it? Yeah.
But you see, all of those things are actually okay according to them. They can do all of those things. They can do whatever they like, and they, as long as they go and say sorry once a week, it's fine.
So that reminds me of like something that I kind of disagreed with you with. Actually, it's separate, but like the belief that, like, for example, you should only really treat someone negatively if they attacked you personally. And I completely, I don't agree with that. I mean, respectfully, of course, but I disagree with that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can believe what you like. That's fine.
But not, it's not only I disagree, but I think that it causes a lot of harm to society to view things in that way, because what you're saying is that all that matter, all that like is significant in terms of like good and bad are how it relates to me personally. And with that logic, if you go by that, especially to its extreme, you're like Hitler. I know this is an extreme example, but I do that on purpose just to get a point across. Like Hitler could be like doing everything that he did, or maybe even finished it. And then like, he's like completely polite to you and like treats you like the best guy ever. And, oh, well, he's good to me. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, that comes down to, I think the world's being taken over by
it's actually more, it's actually much more than that, though. In the context that we're talking about in chat and things like that, people are trying to influence who you talk to and who you don't talk to.
True.
I refuse to accept that.
Views are money nowadays, so by getting somebody to view your content, you're getting paid for that. So there's a monetary gain to that. That's why you have so many influencers, because they're monetarily gaining from it. That's all they get out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not, of course. None of us are making money from it, but
right,
there are people who are, no doubt. Yeah.
Valid points, definitely.
I'm here because I don't have nothing to do better than.
I'm here because I enjoy this. This is honestly like almost, with the exception of one person, which is not that common. This is my social interaction for the week.
Oh yeah,
this is all I need. I don't even want any more.
Yeah, I played video games all the other time and stuff. So I mean,
me too.
We've had no arguments and no stupid
bullshit.
No one fights to talk over.
I don't think there's anything wrong with arguments themselves. In fact, I love them because I think they give us the potential for growth.
No, because the sort of arguments I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I completely get what you're saying.
Other streams where it's like Jerry Springer. That baby's yours. No, it's not. And stupid shit.
Yes. I agree with you entirely. But I have to say, because I always say it, I do want people of opposing views to be here. And I do, like, if all else is the same, I'm going to purposefully lean toward that because I want to pursue that first. That's my priority.
The people I'm talking about, the people who come in shouting, swearing, screaming, just with the intention of destroying your stream, And
that guy with the J name that was here last week or so, and going nothing but name calling and trying to stir the pot the whole time.
I won't say that was all he was doing, but yes, he was doing that.
Like, I was reading the chat and him just like saying shit to me the whole time, like saying I never worked and all this kind of shit. It's like, dude, all you're trying to do is start problems, because that's not even true. I've been working since the age of 12.
I seem to remember that, actually. That was that last week? I think I might have been here for some of it.
He wasn't allowed on stream then. He had to stay in the chat because he got kicked off the stream.
Yeah.
I've got someone in the backstage area. One, you don't have a name. It's just like a little celebratory emoji. I need to know who you are. Gotcha. Adding you to the stage. I've had bad experiences in the past of letting random people on. Like they'll like put gay porn on to get me shut down or some shit.
Or like,
it definitely I did hear about that. I know who that was. I heard about that. Yeah.
Homer Roberts
Yeah.
got his dick out and was like, had it spinning around.
Well,
the screen.
there's more than just him, but yeah, that's one example of someone doing that. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea to kind of get at least some idea of who someone is. Before
So
allowing
who
them
is
up.
it? Who is it then?
It's JT.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have to start like a butthole monitoring thing. Hey, you got to show
You were
your butthole.
at my stream last night. Odyssey, you were at my stream last night. You should know my voice.
I know your voice. I knew it was you as soon as I saw your picture.
I didn't. I don't recognize it.
I
Oh
think
shit! I literally thought
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
were
yeah.
the same person right
that's
now.
what I was about to say. I think JT thought that Andy was odd.
I actually did. Yeah.
Fair. By the way, my time's up again. I'm going to run another 30 minutes. This time it's legit. I'm 30 minutes. That's it.
We covered a lot of bases tonight. There's a lot of deep things.
That's
What were we talking about tonight? Charlie Kirk or how?
a little
So
bit, but it hasn't been a primary focus yet.
It was about simulation theory and scientific
I
theory.
would have come up on your stream, JT, but you sort of set the introduction as a bit fucking attack the fucking new guy with all your crew. So I didn't really think it was worth
What
it.
new guy? Oh, you mean you?
Me.
Like you're saying you don't want to get attacked.
Well, I was going to come up all freaking friendly, like.
Oh yeah,
He's
that'll
gonna
get
get
you.
attacked with his
That'll
pants
get you attacked pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
completely
don't mean.
different.
I don't mean like that, but you fucking turned everybody against me straight away. The moment I said, "Oh, should I come up?"
No, they did. Trust me, they would do that on their own. They don't need any inciting from me. Like, that's just, it's just the
there
vibe.
was
It's
nothing
just-
to come up for to talk about, was
It's
it?
his tribe of.
What was it gonna come
the
up
thing
for?
is, it's a different vibe, man. People are there to fuck around.
It's not necessarily JT's tribe. He's capable of doing both. I've seen it. He's capable of having like legit deep conversations, and he can do so if he chooses to. But like it's a different target audience. Those people
Social
have
dynamic.
different goals. Yes, they have different goals, and you kind of need to know that before heading over there.
They're not there to have a fucking sit down and have a philosophical conversation
right.
about anything. They're there to fuck around.
In fact, they find that boring. It's like the opposite of me. To me,
what's
like
that?
the Jerry Springer shit's boring. To them,
Yeah, the Angela. Like Angela would always try to start drama. and that's how
Honestly,
her-
I don't mind a bit of both from time to time.
No,
but
there's
we don't
nothing
have
wrong
to
with
do
it.
these topics that we do here. You know, there are other topics that
Right.
I'm sure his tribe, for want of a better word, would like to discuss it or talk about. Well, your crew, is that a better word? You know what I'm fucking
I don't
talking about.
own these people, man. You mean my
Well,
audience?
around. Yeah,
Yeah,
audience.
that's a better word. Thank you, audience. Yes. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
like I don't affiliate with what these people think or fucking do. They're just my
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to
Right,
look at it because I don't have all the details.
You can manipulate them a lot easier than you have sway. Is that the
Well, I
word
got a
I'm
word
looking
for it.
for again?
It's congregation.
Well, so hold on. So looking at it from my perspective, I have people that come on here that absolutely fucking hate my gut. So I will say, and I'm not just trying to blanket defend him. This is actually what I believe. You can't necessarily lump together like the host and views of people that happen to come on. Like, I think it's not that simple. You can't really do that.
Trump and his supporters are like the same thing. He despises the people that support him, but his
That's
supporters
true.
love him.
True. So you can't necessarily link them. Like if you have evidence that they're like highly tied, that's fine. But I wouldn't automatically do so.
I mean, you could make judgments about me based on what I allow, which is goddamn almost anything. But
Fair.
But again, what people are saying and doing doesn't necessarily reflect anything I think. So I just kind of just let people do what the fuck they want to do for the most part.
Yeah, that's fair. So again, it goes back to your particular like target audience, your goals, what you're doing. Me, like again, there's nothing wrong with the Jerry Springer style shit. It's that's not my goal, and I'm looking for a completely different audience. So I obviously am going to have different rules and regulations accordingly.
Yeah.
No, but Audie, you could have come up. I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy, but you could have come up. It wouldn't necessarily been an assault on you. If people would have just kind of been like, "Who are you?" You know, like
No, this is my whole point though. It wouldn't have been an assault until you fucking did an introduction, which made them all firing guns at me.
no, you
It
think I'm going
doesn't
to set them
bother me,
against you?
JT. No, it
That's
doesn't really
fucking
bother
JT.
me, man.
That's
It's not that
on him.
important.
No, is that what you think? You think I just incite these people to do things? Like I'm because I've already been accused of being like a basically quasi cult leader, more or less. Like,
No, I'm
yeah.
not going that far at all. Not
No,
in
we
any
call
way,
it-
shape, or form.
Cult leader.
no, I wasn't going to attack you. I wasn't going to make anybody attack you.
Okay,
I-
so you think everybody follows you? Is that JT? Is that okay? So that is what's going on with you? Is that what you
I
think?
don't. I
That
don't.
everybody's
No.
like following you.
I'm
That's what you
saying he
think.
has sway over his crew.
What? They're
That's
not my
it.
crew. That whole thing was a joke.
Audience.
Yeah, he's the new crew. The whole
The
new
whole
crew.
scheme. What do we call it? Chat friends forever. I mean, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's a joke. Like the funny thing is, I knew they would actually take it seriously. Like, and they did. And
No,
so
no, no,
now
you're
they
missing
think that
the
I'm controlling
point.
a bunch of people.
You have sway over your audience compared to me. And
Yeah, you would
just
have no
prior
sway
to
over.
me coming up onto your stream, you incited your audience that this is the fucking person that comes from center-left atheist stream and does political stuff and fucking atheism stuff.
Do you think I was
blah,
going to make
blah,
them be mean to you? No.
No. You actually, that's what you set it up as. It
No.
doesn't bother me. It's just I was going to come up and I wasn't even going to bring up any of that. I was going to fit in with your stream. I don't even
What gave
do
you
the
the impression
political
that I was
shit like
gonna do that?
It's center-left atheists that does it. You basically described me as this person here in this channel.
No. I think somebody asked like, "Who are you?" or something. I don't even remember if you were mentioned. But if I did mention you in any way, I think I said you come from Trop's channel.
It doesn't overly bother me. I'm just telling you what occurred because you don't seem to be getting it correct.
Like I
But
said,
it doesn't fucking faze me, dude.
no.
Listen, you do the sledging banter over there. It's not an issue with me at all, man. It's just, yeah. I was going to come up and be neutral.
Your search history now.
So
God.
hold on.
You
Are
know
you?
what? Here's the thing: is if anybody should if anybody should be offended, it should be me from
offended.
JT. So not you, Audie, because he showed me with like spunk on my fucking face last night. That was my picture. He's got my eyes closed and there's spunk all on my goddamn.
Well,
fucking face.
you don't want to keep your eyes open, Jesus. Unless you do.
See, that's JT. So yeah.
Now
so,
I feel bad for laughing, but it was hilarious.
No, I thought it was actually. See, I don't get all butt hurt like some people do. I actually thought it was.
Fun. It was a fun little stream. Come on,
everybody's a good time.
I don't know.
So before anyone gets all complaining and shit, I want to be clear. This is for educational purposes. If you happen to be a gay man and you like having mind-bending gay butt sex, then you need to know how to do so in an appropriate manner.
Anal retention.
So this is not porn. Let's be clear about that. Anal retention.
Would you?
Well, disclaimer as mentioned.
Okay. Well, there has to be a lot of lube involved, right? Yes.
Yes.
Mind-bending sex.
Oh, look at that! Right down the black hole there.
Holy shit, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Can we go back to talking about Trump, please?
Hold on, I'm stuck for a bit. You guys continue. Like I'm gone right now.
I need that GIF. I need that saved on Discord so I can use that.
Holy shit.
That almost looks like a woman's butt.
Is the shit coming in or out?
Oh, you're going in deep.
Whoa. I can't be having up all my shit here. I'll put the link on there. It's a Grinder anyway.
Grinder?
Yep, it's on Grinder. It's an but look at that butt kicks.
Like, is it a common idea that talking about gay shit in a joking way makes you seem less gay because it's a joke?
So some people think that, and I try to combat it because that doesn't necessarily mean like for one, I'm not joking. This is life for me. This is fucking everything. But people will go like, oh, you're talking about something and it seems like it can be construed as a joke. Therefore, like you're trying to push against the idea that you're gay or something. Like, and I'm like, dude, I've never not once claimed that I'm not gay. In fact, I have repeated over and over that I'm not just gay, but as gay can possibly get.
You're bi and asexual and gay. You're kind of all over the spectrum. And asexual.
Well, part of that is because I have multiple personalities.
I think that's called not fussy, Melody.
Oh, he's not fussy.
Not fussy. Like he's trying to politely say that I have no standards. Like if I can put my dick in something, I don't care. Like a light socket, whatever the fuck.
Ooh.
That was my next question. Are you the giver? Are you the giver or the taker? That was
I am never ever the giver. I like to be purely submissive. I'm like a little baby. Like I turn into butter.
He likes to be the little spoon when spooning.
Well, yes. it looks like you are. Okay, so that's going to be your lube then. Ew, upside down. Gross. Okay, yeah, so that's going to be your.
Fun fact.
Is it just maybe it's the timing, but I feel like it gets really gay every time I get here. I don't know if it's the timing or what.
It's your presence.
Maybe it's because I have like a subconscious sexual attraction to you, JT.
It might be. The first time I ever knew about you, you were making videos.
Exactly. You know. I don't think that it's a coincidence.
I still remember the first song you made about me, about pudding coming out of my ass and everything like
pudding.
Was
it chocolate or vanilla?
I forgot
it has
most
to be
of
vanilla.
the details.
Or
it was tapioca,
no,
wasn't
it would have to be chocolate. If it's up the ass, it's got to be chocolate.
The importance of that entire thing was to use as visualization for what I was trying to describe. And I was giving my fantasy about like myself and Gadwin in a sexual scenario. I have a terrible memory, but I do remember like the pecs were very important. And I think that there was a part where you were like, you were grasping like tightly my butt cheeks with your hands.
Well, you wanted me to like reverse cowgirl you or some shit like
that.
About pudding coming out.
That was a beautiful one.
Yeah, I tried to find it, but that was on a different channel. You said that's gone.
Yeah, now. It's not completely permanently gone, but it's off of YouTube.
Well, it sounds like you were completely and wholly into it, Gadwin.
Does this just happen when I get here, or is this like a regular thing? Like,
there's like there are phases, I guess. So it doesn't only happen when you get here, but I will say that it's a higher percentage likelihood of happening when you're here than when you're not.
It's pretty consistent. It's pretty on. Yeah, it's been pretty on point so far.
We did talk about tribes of sexuality before you got here.
Yes, and there was arguments about whether I'm straight.
Coincidence.
Do hermaphrodites have the best of both worlds? Actually, no, they don't, because they don't actually function very well as either, I believe. Do they?
Exactly.
I don't have a lot of information on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never known a hermaphrodite or come.
Did you ever see a large clit though? If you look at a clit that's
my God, you're so gross.
Pump them up. It looks like a tiny penis.
There is a condition, Gads. It's called enlarged clitoris or something.
Yep.
People do suffer from it. Yeah.
So
like a penis.
You're right, and I don't have actual science behind this, but what I've tried to do is use like personal study and to figure out like, is there a correlation? And I don't have the answer to this, between enlarged clitoris and increased sexual like desire and like horniness, I guess. Like would they act more like a dude in that regard than otherwise? And
they require more stimulation.
Like libido compared to like the size of their clit. Like
Yes, and I believe there is a correlation, but admittedly, it's all anecdotal evidence. It's not like my experience has been tiny in order to make that claim, but I believe there is a correlation.
Where they have like extra sensation.
Well, I believe
No.
that the large, not extra sensation, but the larger the clitoris, the more pronounced sexual drive, meaning they're hornier, they're more overt, they're less likely to be like, well, I'm only going to engage if a guy like hits on me or whatever. Like they tend to be more aggressive, in my opinion.
What do you mean in your opinion? So you've been with all of these women with like enlarged clips?
No. There's only been a few, which is why I made it very clear.
Quite a few then, huh?
Not that many, actually, but I made it extremely clear that it's based only on my personal experience, which makes it anecdotal, which means I can't really go far with it.
Yeah, I have anecdotal evidence that this may or may not be Melody with jizz on her face.
No, that's okay. Why did you show that? Or where the fuck did that even come from?
Listen, Melody, you don't have to ask where I got it. I know you were like, holy shit, how does he have that?
No, you just poke and prod and just like put stuff on. Oh my god, you're just fucking weird.
I bet we can find Melody on Pornhub.
Well, where do you think I found this?
An interesting thing about that, anyway, the clitoris is the only organ in the human body which is designed purely for pleasure alone.
Right.
There's no other, and it's got 10 times the amount of nerve endings than the penis.
Yep.
Well, it's.
I've heard of penis envy, but I've never heard of clit envy. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
Well, I'm not necessarily.
Well, you know what? Well, you should, because we can actually have like multiple orgasms, and you
True.
can.
Well, I'm not taking that personally as like envy, because I believe he's just showing that it's like an interesting correlation or like that's interesting facts. Like
it's to show that the baby at some point got a Y chromosome and was about to transition over to male, but then it reverted back to a female with the X chromosome.
Right. Well, so I'm glad. I want everyone to recognize this moment that I don't take over shit based on what I personally feel, because the moment you start talking about fucking female anatomy, it's like, bleh, 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 like I'm holding back vomiting. So this is not about me. You can continue, but like this is difficult because I like to talk about penises.
Are we going to gross you out?
Well, yes, but again, this is not all about me. So continue. But
whenever you used to put chatterbait on the stream, it was always women.
Like let's not get into the details here. Let's not drag it into the weeds now.
You were just talking about females. What are you talking about? JT, what the fuck, dude?
What? No. What did I do? What did I
do? See, god damn it!
What the fuck? This has been here for like a goddamn 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not even looking.
That's Melody. Okay. Listen, it's not my business. It's not my business what you do with your body.
Seriously. I was not even looking. I don't even give a shit. No, that's so horrible.
No, listen. You don't even want to know how I found this.
Melody, the real question is, do you like the taste of it or not? Do you spit or swallow?
You guys are disgusting.
Listen, you could see she's squinting her eyes there because she had her eyes wide open, but that was a mistake.
Your boyfriend Will in love with me, bish. All right, guys, let's not get into this Jerry Springer shit. Like having some jokes is fine, but like let's not turn it into that.
God, is it TV?
I think we're grossing Trubs out.
Save that for my panel, CB.
A little bit. Like I prefer to talk penis, but it's fine. It's okay.
He would settle for us.
You know what's funny is I can't even see CB. So I can see Vader, but I cannot see CB anymore.
I don't understand.
I don't know what the fuck.
I don't either. I don't understand the problem.
I thought you could see everybody in StreamYard. No?
Because on my screen, coming from my screen.
If you're in StreamYard, it integrates them. But if you're in YouTube on my channel, you're only going to see the people that are on my YouTube, the other people in that same chat. So the issue is we have some people coming from odds YouTube, which is fine. I don't care. In fact, it's useful in some ways, but it causes confusion. You're not. It
I
only
just meant
integrates
StreamYard. You should be able to see it through the StreamYard chat. Everybody.
She
I thought.
can't figure it
Yes.
out.
Yes.
She's-
Go to comments. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't see anything that Audie is putting into the side chat. I can't see like almost
Melody should be able
everybody.
to see everything because she's on StreamYard.
I know. Yeah, no, this is the first freaking time that I've blocked her
There's
music.
no
Yeah.
reason that I know of for you to not be able to see us. So yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
used
wish
to
I could
see
help. I
CB,
don't know.
But no, this is the very first time that this has ever happened. And I saw CB for a minute, and now I can't see her. Well, she always blocks me, so that could be why.
Or I don't know. Like I don't understand your whole issue, but I will say one thing. Like, you would not say this shit in my face, CB. Vader is my fucking boyfriend. And I take that. Whoa, this is not fucking funny. Vader
It's okay.
is
He
my,
doesn't want Vader. He doesn't want Vader to work.
Vader is my online boyfriend. And just because it's online, just because it's long distance, does not make it lesser than if it were in real life. So let's get that fucking shit out of the way.
Well,
Exactly.
Vader's like a pay pig, basically. And you know, he doesn't want him.
So
work.
you don't fucking talk about fucking my boyfriend being a jobless punk on my goddamn stream.
You trying to
You
hold
understand
smile
that,
back.
I'm still stuck on the part where you thought I was gonna like set people against you because I said you came from Trob's channel. They don't even know who Trob's is. Talking to you, Audie. They don't know Trob's.
Talking about Sway, you just had Sway over CB to try to stop her from talking shit.
Oh, you can't
That's all
stop
she
CB.
does.
The only way to
That didn't
stop her is
work.
to like you'd have to block, you'd have to like ban her or something.
I think CB
That
does what
link,
she likes,
Stupid
really.
Humans, works on my YouTube channel, but I don't think it works on StreamYard.
Oh, hey, what's up, Brain? She's in the other room.
Cracks me up.
The kitties. The kitties are my
Okay.
weakness.
Oh,
I
man.
can see-
You know
I can
what,
see
Rob?
Brain.
I just watched a video that I know you would love today. Over in Istanbul, they have cats running around everywhere, and they feed them everything. Like, cats are like part of the whole society. You got to show people how their kindness and stuff like that. It teaches people
love it.
kindness.
I love it. I recently read an article that was interesting that like evolutionary biologists are claiming that felines in general are the pinnacle of evolution. They're so perfect that they haven't had massive changes over time like dogs have, for example, or bears or other animals.
Through domestication.
They are like perfect in terms of evolution.
Apex predators and everything. Like,
Yes, but they don't have to be a predator. They're still like, even if they were, say, they weren't carnivores or something, they would still be perfect in the sense that they don't need to change as much as other creatures.
Like the least
Yeah,
amount
exactly.
of environmental adaptations that.
Yeah, thank you. I have a hard
Yeah.
time making things simple.
like if you look at most, like,
I don't know. I
farm
have
animals-
a knack for making things succinct, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I
if you
have
go
a
back in
cat.
time,
I have
like
one.
pigs or other farm animals, like how their domestication came about, like you wouldn't recognize the ones from like 1,000 years ago to now. Like,
I love cats.
What the hell happened to that cat, man? Has it got no hair?
I love dogs too, though. You know, I can't say I'm one or the other.
I like all animals, but I'll be lying if I'd say it was equally. I have a massive feline bias.
oh, to me, it
My-
comes down
my
to the
dog just
personality of the
passed.
animal. So some dogs are great, some dogs are just a pain in the ass. Some cats are great.
That's
some
true,
are-
but like I'm looking at it from a general perspective. Like in general, this is how I feel.
So I've had many good cats, and then I've had many good dogs, but then I've had bad both. I've had a cat one time; it would just freaking climb right up you, claw the shit out of you, and climb
Yep.
up you. Like,
Well,
fuck that.
I'm strange in that those are my favorite. Those ferocious, like fucking feral type cats. I love them. They're my favorite of all.
Have you ever heard
Wow.
of training cats and dogs? That is my issue. Is that people don't fucking train their animals? That is no.
No.
And dogs, whenever they
I thought it said
talk,
raining cats and dogs.
You hear that indignation in her voice? I'm mad too now. Now I'm pissed off.
I do not like dogs that much just because people do not train them. They follow you everywhere. And if you want to go somewhere, then you have to get like somebody like babysitting them or dog sitting them, and they're just a pain in the fucking
Well,
ass.
they're social creatures, so like humans through all existence, we didn't travel until just recently. And if you did travel in the past, you're rich probably, and you took.
I'm not talking about in the past. I'm talking about now, Gads.
I know.
I don't give a fuck about the past with dogs. I'm talking about right now.
They're
These
dependent on their
motherfuckers next door,
people.
and
Just
they
like
don't
you had
fucking calm
cows,
down the goddamn. Okay, sorry.
if you had cows on a dairy farm,
I
you
go
need somebody
off
to go
about
take care of
dogs.
those cows. You can't just leave any animal unattended.
Exactly.
I want you to come up here and
with
show your hair.
cats, with cats, they're fine. They are resilient. They can just do whatever they want.
It's true. Well, so okay, let me break
That's
in
what I
for just
love
a
cats
second.
for.
If anybody's wanting to pop in, right now's the time. We've got 5 minutes, and I'm sticking to my time this time. So 5
And then
minutes.
he's gonna go pop off.
I've already fapped 3 times during this stream, but I need another one right now. Especially after fucking see, he knew what he was doing. Vader came in here. He knew he was teasing me. He knew that like the moment he typed that I was gonna think about him naked. He knew it. And he did it anyway.
Randy.
Yes, and he knew it. He fucking knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he's a big tease.
He is.
But no, so I do love cats. They're my favorite, and I have one. She's white with she's got gray eyebrows. She's so pretty, and her name is Bella. Yeah, she has gray eyebrows, and she's pure white.
Beautiful.
My best cat.
Why she got to be white then?
And Gordon.
Yeah, she's white, huh?
What?
You said what?
She's completely white. She has white fur.
I don't get why you've got to be like prejudiced against black cats. I mean, what's wrong with black cats?
Well,
why can't it just be a cat?
Like cats. I'm just telling you what mine looks like. She's pure white.
It's weird. All the superstition stuff about cats comes from the Catholic Church, from the Black Plague.
All of them?
Around. When the Black Plague was going around, it happened for a long time, like hundreds of years span that it kept going around. And the church said it was witches, and people tied witches to cats, and so they would go around killing all the cats, thinking they're the ones spreading the plague around.
Damn. Well, regardless of how it began, it's a massive problem. Like me dealing with the Humane Society, which is like linked with like animal shelter and everything. Like we have a lot of issues with people not wanting black cats.
They don't want the black ones.
Why?
Yes.
I don't understand that.
Because they're superstitious and they think that they're evil.
Yeah, they think they're evil. They think that it's bad luck. There's all sorts of shit. Like,
Still,
that came from the church.
Yep. And it's problematic, and
that's so old school. People still believe that. That's such bullshit.
Of course, stupid.
Yeah, they do. People are superstitious. They don't walk under ladders either. You know, there's all sorts of superstitions. Yeah.
I go out of my way to try to affect people to not think that way. I will like be a guinea pig to show them that this is bullshit. Like I have a friend that I used to date back in the past that's like believes in witchcraft and shit. And I'm like,
Wicca,
please cast spells on me so I can fucking show you that it's bullshit. It's not true.
Yep. That's kind of how I did with Christianity. Be like, hey, heal me. Oh, wait, you can't. That's why I was like, why doesn't God heal amputees?
So you have to fight against one thing, though. They may take it as like you're personally attacking. So you have to be careful, because if you want to reach them, you have to push back against that and go, oh, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to help you to understand that that is bullshit. Not to be like, I'm right, you're wrong, but so that you don't think that way.
That reminds me of an Eddie Murphy movie, and I can't remember which one it was, where he got up out of the wheelchair and said, "Oh my God, it's a miracle I can walk." Do you remember that?
The critique of the belief system.
The Eddie Murphy. I can't remember which movie it was. It was damn funny though.
I don't recall it.
There was that ICP song I liked. It was called "Pass the Collection Plate," about how they're going to heal little Timmy. He may not look healed on the outside, but on the inside, his spirit is healed.
That's South Park. Timmy?
I do remember that. Yes, that was hilarious.
Timmy from South Park.
Yeah, no, it's ICP. This was back before South Park. They have a song about passing the collection plate, and about has a preacher says, "Here's little Timmy. His body's all twisted and mangled, and
I
for
think that was
$5,000."
on. I think that was on the Great Malenko, if I'm not mistaken. The album.
Malenko. Yep.
There's there was a lot of good shit on that album. I fucking loved it.
I like that one.
Am I the only person who
Under the
saw the
Moon.
Michael Jackson one? Nobody seems to have seen that one. Mr.
I
Johnson. Come and play, children. He's calling all the children into his garden. He's got swings and rides in his garden. He's calling all the children in. And
that's rude. You can't say that. Rude.
You got to see that one. It's hilarious.
Yeah, South Park.
That sounds
hilarious. A lot of taboo. Like, I love when they went after Scientology or the Church of Mormon.
I love that they went after fucking Donald Trump and he tried to attack back and they doubled down.
Would you see they kicked Kimmel offline, off TV? They canceled the.
Oh my god, that's insane.
It's a problem. It's a big problem.
Don't they go after like everything?
Yes, but this is specific in that they're not even trying to like lie and be like it has something to do with legal shit. They're not even hiding. They're literally just out in the open corruption. The FCC chair is just saying, "Oh, look, ABC, Disney, you want to merge with this competitor? If you want that to happen, because we have to approve it, you have to play ball with us." And he literally said, like, no sugarcoating. He said, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." And he forced them to drop Jimmy Kimmel. That should be illegal. That's a problem.
Colbert's going off there.
At least he's being transparent about it.
True, but it's still a problem.
But here's the thing is what he's trying to do is he also said that, I don't know if it's Twitter or some other media, but he also said Jimmy Fallon, he's going to go after Seth Meyer, he was going to go after he's like, okay, they're going to be next, so I'm going to go after NBC.
When Hitler rose power, he went after all the people who made fun of him.
Yep. And that's why it matters. That's why people need to like pay attention. Even if you agree with this shit and you're on that side, I guarantee you, once your fucking freedoms are taken away, that won't always be the case. There's going to be you will be attacked. You will be attacked.
Yeah,
I know. You guys have probably shift the subject. I know you guys probably beat the Charlie Kirk thing to death at this point. Probably.
Honestly,
I never
on the live stream we haven't really discussed it, but this is not a good time to broach that. I'm literally.
No, I know, because we're close to the end. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's going to be a deep conversation, or it's going to be complicated and nuanced, and there's so many different ways to hit it.
I think we can summarize it. I think most people would agree. I'm just going to take a stab in the dark here, but just because we don't agree with somebody's politics, it doesn't mean it's okay to just fucking shoot people.
Yes, but I'm going to say that is typically a straw man used by people that they're making the claim that all these people on the left are saying that it's okay to murder people. That's not what they're claiming. They're claiming that the world is a better place without Charlie Kirk in it. That's an entirely different thing. And I don't like it when people purposefully change someone's position to make it easier to defeat. And I'm not claiming you're doing that, JT, but there's a lot of people that are doing that. And
no, I'm just speaking for anybody and just speaking in general here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's going to be many different points of view on it, obviously, but I'm just pointing out the obvious.
That was my feeling on it as well. It's a human being. He's got a wife, a family.
Right. I mean,
but all he did was spout racism, misogyny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that though. I don't necessarily.
He's
about
talking
that.
I don't give a fuck. He could be as racist as possible. He could be fucking as hateful as possible. But shooting somebody, that's taking it to the fucking next level.
So you're basically talking about shooting somebody for talking. Is that
so
what
right?
we do now?
Look.
And I'm not saying who or who doesn't agree with that. I'm just speaking in general.
I agree with you completely in everything you said. My only point is to go, there's not many people who disagree with that. They're simply saying a completely separate point.
Right, that everything's better without him.
Exactly. And that's a different claim. And I stand by it personally because I think it's obvious that you can disagree with it.
No, right. Hands down. I could see where those 2 points could easily be conflated. Obviously, they're different. So someone could say, "Oh, well, because the world's a better place without him, it's better. It's best that somebody shot him."
Who's deciding
for all the
which is not necessarily what.
Yeah, wait. No, I get it. Do you support the death penalty?
Well, I don't think Trobes supports this guy being shot.
Hold up, though. No, he doesn't. And what he's saying is that the world is. He believes that things are better without people talking like that. Exactly. However, it doesn't make it okay to shoot it.
It's not
right. Absolutely.
But yeah,
these are two different topics. We agree it's not right to shoot people.
Right. I think Probs is saying the same thing. He's saying I think Godwin though is saying something else. I'm not sure.
Republicans do live fire drills yet, where they have people like execute people with firing squads yet. And they want this Tyler guy to be shot with a firing squad. So they want to shoot him and kill him, but yet they think shooting Kirk is bad.
That's part of the point that I've addressed it in videos, but that's the issue that I have is that this is highly performative, and you can tell because their words and actions are two very different things. These exact same people, even Charlie Kirk himself, talking shit about like when George Floyd died and like going on and on about how it's like great that he died and all, and then all of a sudden things flip, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, a life is a life. Like, regardless, it doesn't matter. Every life is the same. No, it's not. You don't believe that because if you think that it's okay to even, I'm using an extreme example on purpose here, but if you think it's okay to kill someone in self-defense, you are claiming implicitly that you do not think a life is a life. You think.
Remember here a couple of years ago, Kyle Rittenhouse, that kid who went across state lines, shot 2 people, and was held up as a hero for the Republican Party. He went around on tours with Kirk and them after he murdered 2 people.
Can we do for the sake of the conversation? Can we just take the politics aside? Right, I know that's hard to do, but Godwin.
That's all Kirk was. Kirk was a politic, like he was a shill for the politics.
I know what he did. Yeah, he goes to fucking liberal colleges and starts debating people and trying to make them look stupid. I know what he does, or what he did. You know, but
he was funded by rich billionaires that are all right wingers.
No, but I'm getting the impression that you think it was good to like shoot him.
I think he was assassinated by like Israel, probably.
Do you think it was cool for like to shoot him though?
I don't care really.
It's probably not as deep as that.
Right wingers do mass shootings every day here in America. Like
I'm not talking about and again, I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking from like a humanitarian point of view, like people, right? Human.
Bad people should die. I don't think we should have good people.
So you think he should have been shot?
Good people don't. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Good people tend to get shot, like John Lennon, Martin Luther King.
Do you think you're good?
I'm more morally gray.
So could you get shot too?
Who would call him a martyr?
Who's the judge?
There's a lot of people that call him a martyr. In fact,
no. Come on. Who the
martyr?
Come on.
I agree with you, but there's a lot of people who disagree.
No.
Would you support the killing of Hitler? So 17 times, I think it was, that people tried to shoot Hitler. Do you think those people were all bad?
Well, I'm sorry. Are you asking me something?
Yeah, like there was like 17 attempts on Hitler's life that people tried to assassinate him. They all failed. But do you think those people are bad for trying to stop Hitler?
I don't look at it in terms of good or bad. Do I think Hitler should have been assassinated? Probably.
There's a difference between attempting to and doing it, though, as well.
But
do I put Hitler on the same level as Kirk? No. Hitler was actually responsible for like mass deaths.
Well, so you could make the argument. It's a lot harder to get into this because we don't have definitive facts.
You could make the argument that that Kirk's fucking or anybody is like responsible for like inciting people to do shit
to some extent. Yes.
Right, but again, I think we could
violence.
Right, but the thing is, he
incited violence against
he's not running like a fucking political party that's like aimed at actually like genociding a whole fucking.
Is basically a wing of the Republican Party. They're out there to brainwash children to vote Republican.
JC's what the fuck, CB? Is that really CB?
I don't know because the AVI is different. It could be someone different.
Giving me the the fucked up thing is it could very well be.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely her.
Like that. Yep. That's.
I just want to say I won't shed a tear for Kirk. He's a vile person, and he's dead now. So fuck it.
That's essentially my stance as well.
I'm not sad about it.
Right, and I will go further and say there's absolutely nothing immoral for anyone who makes that claim. Because all it means, in my view, is that they're capable of understanding the difference between good and bad. And also, this is very important. Again, I will beat this into the ground. Dying does not magically change what you did in your life. Because you died does not make you a better person all of a sudden.
No, I don't know who's making that argument, but yeah,
to be clear, I'm not saying that because like in combating you, JT.
Right?
Just to be clear.
No. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Did you see
Acid
Fox
Trip?
News?
You're gonna have to make this quick. I'm already past time, but like
Fox News, they put on about Kirk how he was.
Yes, what's going on, party people? The bad boy Acid Trip in the house, you know. What's happening there? What's happening? Andy C, you got something to say to your bad man, your boss here? Yo, wagwan. What are you saying, Andy boy? Yo, Andy C, your pussy, innit? What are you saying? You wagwan, my batty boy, then? Huh?
How the fuck can you find?
What's happening, pussies? What's going on, pussy? Yeah? What's
Get off the drugs,
Well, who's got something to say? What, anyone got something to say to the main man? Any of you pussies got something to say to the main fucking man? Huh?
Main line, man. Look,
say something.
Hold on. To be clear, when he says, is there anyone here that's got something to say to the main man, he's referring to me.
Yeah, of course he is. He looks like he's been mainlining. I don't know about main man.
Who's this Andy C? Like you talk like that geezer? My name's Andy C. You're a divorced 61-year-old pussy that works for a 29-year-old Andy C. Huh? You'd be retired like me. What's happened?
All made up. What? None of
oh my geezer! You're a fucking mug, man. You sit there working for some mug. Go to work for that boy that told you to make the tea. You think you're a coder and that? Huh? You ain't a coder. You think you're some professional man? What? What? You're part of it, mate. All right, mate. Well, you talk like you've got something up your ass, mate.
Up, dude. Okay.
Take your finger out your ass. I'm coming to represent. Look at JT. Like, who's a pussy JT? Look at JT. Cross-eyed JT. Look at this guy. Look at this cross-eyed. Look at this cross-eyed JT. Like, have you seen his woman? Have you seen the state of her? Anna Yennis. Just put up her picture. Like, have you seen her?
Get the fuck out of here.
To be clear,
Get out.
To be clear, this is what my channel's not about. I only allowed it.
Ew, kick him.
It didn't actually. It didn't show anything. I was watching.
Yeah,
but it came close, but this is not what I'm all about. But I allow it because I'm literally at the very end, and I was looking for a stopping point anyway. But like, you guys know exactly how to fucking keep me locked on. Like, Jesus Christ.
I blame. I don't know. I don't want to blame myself.
It was a good chat.
Well, that's why it's a good chat. But the problem is, just like anyone, I have other responsibilities and other shit that I need to work on. Yeah,
feed the cat.
Fapping mainly. It's mainly fapping, but
stroking your pussy.
That too. But in any case, while we're at a stopping point, I've got to roll. It was fun. I'll see everybody next week if you're available. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Good chat, everybody.
Thanks, tribes.
Andy